boys at all in Central. Maybe don't let it go at that, but there are a lot of...
CB squared has 51 finest degrees of freedom, making...
On the way home, I got hungry, and I ate it. We're Americans, and we only like competition, okay? I'm eating, and I'm reading a book, and this waitress comes up.
Gas mask on. nowhere to go. All right, folks, welcome to another MAGA Lunatics say demented things. Fuck around and find out, motherfuckers. This is what you all fucking voted for, you twats. It's all your fucking fault. And here we go. And we're just going to have fun making fun of y'all idiots for the things that Trump and everything else is going to happen in the next 4 fucking years. So thank you very much for giving me a bunch of content, but fuck you all for making us live in this reality. So let's bring in our co-host and our co-host, and we will crack on and get into the meat and potatoes of the substance that I have ready for y'all today. We have 3, maybe 4 people in a confirmation hearing we're going to go over. But I am more going to have fun going over Pete Hegseth, whatever his name is. I don't fucking care. So here we go. Let's bring in our.
But some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yes, I guess you're right.
Yes, and I guess you're right.
Hello.
How's it?
Yeah, pretty good. Just I'm on call, so that kind of sucks. But
yeah,
I had a good 2-hour nap, so. Well,
good,
is that
good,
a nap,
right.
or is that just I've been sleeping?
A siesta is only supposed to be an hour long or something like that. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, a nap should technically only be like 30 minutes, but.
Oh, okay. Sure. All right, so let's bring in our co-host. And there's our doggo.
Our Coco Dancer host.
Coco the Dancer, yeah. Any other weekend. So FAFO, that's fuck around, find out, yeah? Is that what that means?
Exactly. Yeah. So let's get into this. Let's do our
it
intro.
It sounds like a noise a lady would make when she farts, like FAFO. Not like a woman, because like my ex-wife.
Like a fafu, something like that.
I mean, the first time I slept with in the 90s, when she got out of bed the next morning, she turned around and she just, and a real pant checker right on me. I felt like I was being fucking crop dusted. I know women fart, and then, you know, you women saying we don't fart. You fucking do. I know. I don't got doors.
Yeah, no. I've been farted on by a bunch of women. But anyways, we'll talk about that later. And that was not my choice. No, it was not my choice. No, it was not my choice. I don't like that.
Yeah, right.
Sierra Gray, freaking, while I was on the phone with our boss talking about a gig, she literally gets up, turns her butt to me, pulls down her pants, and farts in my face while I'm on the phone with our fucking boss. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And she goes, what? And I'm like, wait, what? How did you think that was okay? Even though it was Desiree who I was on the phone with, but I'm like, what? And then she's like, oh, you were grossed out by that. No, I was just surprised. Like, I wasn't expecting you to do that. That's why I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Surprise,
Anyways, let's crack
motherfucker.
on. Yeah, anyways, let's crack on with our intros. And let's start with
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and/or hosts. They do not explicitly or necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by this channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program.
It's just like Killer Cop 4, but she's got Hema instead of fry cook balls. I need you, Action Bastard. Action Bastard, I need you. Action Bastard, I need you. Why am I wasting time dancing?
You want to know why? Because the world is fucking flat, dog. And everything that you see up there, as far as like planets or stars, yeah, guess what, dude? It's fucking fake. It's just lights up there. The government put those lights up there so you dummies could just act like there's something up there.
Wait a second, are you a flat earther?
Call a crackhead.
You're stupid.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that cracks me up so much every time I watch that. Like, it's so simplistic, but it's so funny how I made. Anyways, and I don't need to tell you.
Pretty funny, yeah.
I need to make a new one. I have one kind of in the works, but it's just so funny, and I really, really want to get Hassan to actually see that. I don't think it's ever gonna happen, but it would be so hilariously silly if I could get him to like see that video. But anyways, let's say hello to our side of my chats, and we have a commander. Yep, whenever you can make it, that'd be amazing.
Commander.
We have a
yeah, but they probably can't because Mom just fell asleep. So and he can't make too much noise.
Okay. All right. So stop the sip. Welcome. We have a pet dragon.
Hi.
Jason.
Hey, Jason.
We have a Quinn. Welcome, Quinn.
Hello,
It's been a while since you've been in with us.
Yeah.
Almost done with. Oh, you made a wood burning that says "Live, Laugh, Toaster, Bath." That's awesome. Sweet kick ass. We have a Jasper.
Hey, Jasper.
Hey, Jasper.
We have a Tubian.
Tubes.
A Demon Orbs.
Dorby. You've never Dorby? Oh my goodness.
I know. It looks like everybody, if there's anybody else inside of my chat too who has not said hello to us, go ahead and say hello to us for the of it, because why the hell's not? Let's go ahead and start this. So we're gonna go over the first person that hell's nuts, totally. So we're gonna go over the first person that that's not what I wanted to do, because I want to be right there, and then I want to get to here. Pete Headnuts. Headsack. Pete Headsack. We're calling him Pete Headsack for this. The rest of this. What up, Beck?
Quickly, also, if anyone's been reading Discord, Quentin's hit a fucking wall at the moment. He's going through a bad time, so maybe we can help him out. A couple of bucks. Be
Yeah,
grateful.
Quinn, drop your link skis.
Or just go to the decimal chords but anyways, sure, go ahead and do that. Stop the Stupid gifted 5 memberships. So while Brainless is looking those up, I am going to play.
Not a showing.
Okay, well, I'm still going to play this because YouTube. They're being arseholes right now with all this crap. They're like, oh, we're going to set you up to make money, and then they don't let me make money, you fucking assholes. Yeah, they're being fucking douche nozzles again. So if you got a membership, and because what happened is last time it came in the day later, it actually did go through. But anyways, let's just crack on because I know y'all want to hear this. So we're gonna go over Pete Nutsack and his confirmation hearing. We're gonna go over the highlights and Nutsack. Because we are not going to watch the whole 2 hours of it, and then we're going to get into Bondi, some of her bullshit. We're going to get into 2 other people that I don't really know who they are, but I have things that we should probably go over, and then we'll go over actual MAGAs freaking out because they voted for Trump and they realized they fucked around, and now they're finding the fuck out. So here we blow.
Your second wife, correct? I believe so. And you had just fathered a child by a woman who would later become your third wife, correct?
Senator, I was falsely charged.
So you're not the father.
You were falsely charged, except for there was a child, and never mind. We're watching the Majority Report, so go show them some love. If you don't know who they are, you should know who they are by now if you watch my goddamn motherfucking channel, because we definitely go over them a bunch, and they are very, very awesome, progressive, left-leaning commentators, and both of them are very, very amazingly smart people that cover this stuff very well. Let's listen to what he says.
Fully investigated and completely cleared.
Paying her off money is, anyways, they'll go over this.
So you think you are completely cleared because you committed no crime. That's your definition of cleared. You had just fathered a child 2 months before by a woman that was not your wife. I am shocked that you would stand here and say you're completely cleared. Can you so casually cheat on a second wife and cheat on the...
Hey, I was all really drunk on a lot of cocaine, okay? How could I have been responsible for my actions while I was at a convention and I was drunk on drugs and that lady was asking for it? She wore a short dress. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Yes, if anybody has any extra money to help out Quinn, please do. Unfortunately, Quinn, right now I am still waiting for funds to go through, and this has been the time of the year where I don't have any gigs. That will change 100% on Tuesday, because then I will have gigs for I have 10 gigs booked as of right now in a lot of different places. Hopefully I will get to Montana. I don't know. I didn't get booked there, but I still want to go. And Kat asked me to go with her to Coney Island in a couple months. So I should be in Coney Island to go and perform with all of those legends as well. So I have a bunch of thingy-mabobbers coming up. So once that starts, then I can start helping out other people's again, because unfortunately, I'd like to help out Mango more, but things and stuff. So here, let's crack on with this weirdo. And I want to get to people being ushered out of the hearing because they were anti him, and we'll talk about those people. 2 people that got arrested from yelling out during this confirmation hearing.
The mother of a child that had been born 2 months before, and you tell us
now pause it for a second, okay? Because
I'm gonna let him talk because he has a really good point here. I'm gonna try our best to not let them commentate because we're trying to not use, you know what I'm saying? It's fair use. But just listen to what he says really quick.
Now listen,
Hey,
I
pal,
want to make a
Quinn.
couple of things clear.
Hey, Dave.
I think if you are the
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dave. Going downstairs to the lobby. Okay, sure.
Secretary of Defense, you have a questionable morality as it is, right? I mean, your job is to go out and ultimately kill a lot of people. And you know that that's going to involve completely innocent people and children. These hearings are not for people like me who believe such a thing. And
these at this point are pretty much just, yes, hail Bigfoot. And these things pretty much at this point are just to like pretend that it's going to be a thing. Because the best of my knowledge of what I've come to understand, pretty much if they put you on this little stage and they're interviewing you, you pretty much got the job. The difference between Nutsack and Bondi is something completely different. And we'll get to that in just a second, dude. This Bondi bitch is fucking crazy. Well, all of them are, obviously.
Bondage
but, like,
bitch?
Jeebus, the Bondi bitch.
Bondage bitch. Oh,
she's a
Yeah,
WWF
totally.
woman.
Yeah.
Isn't she?
I
think that's that plot. It may be another lady, I don't remember, but let's crack on with
17. At that time, you were still married to your second wife, correct?
I believe so.
And you had just fathered a child by a woman who would later become your third wife, correct?
Senator, I was falsely charged, fully investigated and completely cleared.
So you think you were...
I know that we're watching this again, but I want us to understand what he thinks.
Completely cleared because you committed no crime. That's your definition of cleared. You had just fathered a child 2 months before by a woman that was not your wife. I am shocked that you would stand here and say you're completely cleared. Can you so casually cheat on a second wife and cheat on the mother of a child that had been born 2 months before, and you tell us you are completely cleared? How is that a complete clear?
Senator, her child's name is Gwendolyn Hope Hegseth.
Now he just goes into like saying God has forgiven him, so that's why he knows.
Hey there, folks. Hope you're doing well today. You know, there's a big machine out there, and all we can do at this moment is just try to throw our shoes in it.
Okay, so now we're going to go with some more of Hegseth stuff. And so let's just listen to this. We don't need to hear the devil talk about any of this, but here we go.
All Americans, all warriors. This hearing is for you. Thank you for figuratively and literally having my back.
So this is where the two people were taken out for disrupting and were arrested.
You are a misogynist. Not only that, you are a Christian Zionist. And you support the war in Gaza by the Zionists.
In the next clip,
I know it's a little hard to hear, but he said you're a misogynist, liar, kind of things like that. Hey, Jinx, you welcome.
Jinx.
Yes, it's hard times for all of us as well. So, let's crack on. And this is the next one of the second person who disrupted the hearing.
we're going to see a lady who's making a case for Palestine.
And readiness.
Because he's going to be the head of the military. She's like, what are you going to do about Palestine? Are you going to do anything about Palestine? That's pretty much the end of it.
Yes,
let's get into.
He's going to help blow it to bits and exterminate the.
Oh no, he's not. Yeah, no, he's going to make sure that's not a thing anymore. Really quick, let's go into this. I'm gonna read most of this, but this is TYT Sports. Oh, I'm gonna, there actually is. So here we go. The audio.
You can literally walk up anywhere in the United States and smack you as a woman, and I'll go to jail. You can smack me as a woman, and nothing will happen to you.
So if you didn't hear that, he pretty much said that as a man, if I hit a woman, I go to jail no matter what. But if a woman hits me, I still get nothing happens to them, is what he's saying. Although we have very, very many cases of a lot of us watch the police arrest things and Karens and sovereign citizens, frauditors, and other things getting arrested, right? How many times do we see? How many times
women jails over there?
Yeah, how many times do we see a woman go to jail for beating their significant other? A man or a woman, it doesn't matter. I mean, or their kids, literally. Like, there's not that much prejudice anymore. I'm guessing that the southern states, sure, but here,
yeah,
there are a lot more.
I also think like you shouldn't hit a woman, like you shouldn't hit people, period. But then again, like if a woman is attacking you, like hell yeah.
If I feel like my life is in danger,
you want to be equal, then I'll defend myself equally against you as I would against a man.
If my life feels like it's threatened, like anything that is organic, I will do anything to the best of my power to stop that from happening. So if you are a woman, if you are a female human, and you are running at me with if you're running at me with a fucking knife, you have a gun point, you know what I'm saying? I am going to defend myself. Most of the time,
if I would hit you if you were a man, I would hit you if you're a woman. I don't give a fuck.
Well,
you're equal.
See, again, see, the way that I think of this is if I feel like my life is being endangered, I have had a bunch of I've had a bunch of small people punch me in the face, and I'm like, that's fucking funny. You think that, you know what I'm saying? So I've been punched by dudes and females. I'm like,
kind of the same.
You know what I'm saying? But when my life is being threatened, then I'm like, sorry, dude, this beer bottle is going to break over your fucking head. I'm sorry, dude. You know? But there's a difference. And they're wrong most of the time. That's what I hate about this, like, misogynistic thing. If I push a woman, I go to jail. She beats me up. She don't. That's not really. Anyways, let's crack on. What this is this daughter, this lady, her dad is saying all this weird fucked up shit to her, and she's like, I'm done with my parents. She's like, I can't do it. I'm done.
You smacked me all the time and you never went to jail. Nah.
There you go. You smack me all the time and you never went to jail. Exactly. What the fuck? Exactly. Like, how many times do these fucking people beat their wives or beat other people's, their family members, and they never fucking, and nothing ever happens to them? You fucking, just like, anyways, I had a rabbit hole.
I actually think that it's often that a woman beating a man would get in trouble much quicker.
Who do you think is going to get excommunicated from the goddamn motherfucking church quicker?
Because
the man who beats his wife or the woman? Power? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who do you think gets fucking excommunicated from their religion more from doing that? The woman, obviously. If a woman beats the crap out of her husband, then she's probably going to be, shunned. She's a witch. She can beat a man. She's a witch. Hey, J. Troy. So, let's crack on. Yes. And so now, yes, hi, Pastor. And so now it says, now listen to what he says. I'm going to go back just a tiny bit. So now listen to what he says. Okay.
Nah.
You're a liberal communist. You're a communist and a liberal. You hate white men. You hate the U.S. Constitution. You are f***ed up.
TikTok user.
You hate the Constitution? How did it always if you're not completely agree with me, how you hate the Constitution?
Where in the Constitution?
I love the Constitution of America because it clearly states that there should be separation between church and state. I love that.
I love most of the constipation, but people read it wrong and they don't understand it and they want to use it and bend it to their will, which is not how the world works, you twat. But let's crack on.
Reb shows us, in her words, a call with her father, who she has lost to MAGA.
Yeah, obviously.
That no one's greater than another person. That's communist.
Communism is equality. How is equality communist? What the fuck are you talking about, you psychopath? That's not communism. I hate how they don't know what Marxism is. They don't know what socialism is, and they don't know what communism is. They don't understand. They don't even know what fascism is. Like, literally, it's insane how dumb these idiots are. And they're not going to sit down and actually like read a fucking book or anything that tells them what they're going to listen to. Fucking Fox News or Oanon or the other fucking weasel news things. And the thing that's been pissing me off about recently that I don't want to go over because it pissed me off so much is the Australian Sky News. Dude, they're fucked in the head, bro.
Yeah,
like the fucking news segments they do are fucking insane. And they're like, look at these woke people, they're so dumb in America. You're Australian. Why the fuck are you telling us about our fucking culture, you cunts? And you know, like, shut the fuck up. It's totally run by like a Russian. It's Russian or China run for sure.
Isn't Australia's government like basically America's bitch? Like the Dutch, we're kind of we're kind of America's bitch, but like the
Sky is run by what's his face? He owns
the
fucking guy who owns Fox News.
Yeah,
the New York Times or whatever. What's his face?
You've never been on TikTok.
What?
Well, we're already all move over to Red Hat, Redstone, Red Pill. I don't know, but we're all ready to move over to a new app.
Why?
It's
just get a
Chinese zone app. We're trying to fuck the government by showing them that we're going to just move over to the goddamn Chinese app. And guess what? We're going to all learn Mandarin. We're going to learn Mandarin.
If you really want to fuck with them, you should also stop using Facebook and Instagram because it's Meta that basically
Rupert Murdoch. That's it.
TikTok
getting
Rupert Murdoch
banned. But anyways, let's crack on. We're gonna talk about the whole. It was Rupert Murdoch. We're gonna talk about the whole goddamn. Next week we're gonna talk about the whole TikTok thing and the red whatever app and the things and the stuff and things and
the people that make that decision have no clue about technology and like
of course they don't. That's
Meta have scared the shit out of them because now we get rid of one of our competitors.
Yeah, but anyways, we'll crack on in a couple of days when we figure out.
Okay, and I'm saying this as I have my screen with threads open. Okay, so I know I'm a dumbass.
I wish we could get rid of X, but anyways, or Twitter. I'm gonna call it. I should never call it X. Twitter.
I don't have one.
Why do you need to have an American flag to show patriotism? That's not what patriotism is, you fucking idiots. Actually, having a flag shows how how dumb you are that you think that shows patriotism. You want to know what's the most fucked up thing that I keep seeing and I want to fucking strangle these idiots? What? These fucking cunts have these souped up pickup trucks with an American flag on the back, and guess what the back of the flag is? Torn up. It's torn. No, it's torn up. That's illegal. You're not supposed to have a decimated flag, a flag that is torn, that is in any way, shape, or form not in the original way. So these idiots are running around. Well, obviously I know, obviously that. But the thing is, these idiots don't even know their own fucking rules for the game they're fucking playing. They don't even know how they're supposed to make that flag. Literally, anytime that flag gets dirty, and they should clean it. Anytime there's a rip in it, anytime it starts tearing, you have to get a new flag. You got to put on a new one, bro.
And
so that means you have to be buying, and you have to burn it in a certain way. There's a respectable way to burn it. I was in the Boy Scouts of America, and I learned how to respectfully fold the flag into the trifold and do the ceremony to put it onto a fire. I actually know the proper way to respect the American flag.
Slim, so you learned how to respectfully bend over?
Oh no, I was a Boy Scout. I learned how to lick boots as 14-year-old, pretty much. I just got out of it. I just was like, oh, that's fucking like fascism. Oh, there's sexism. And the other thing that was happening in the Boy Scouts, and fuck it, I'll say it out loud because I know, the BSA. I know. That's what I'm gonna sell this story. The other thing that happened about, I'm sure you should have known because I act a little fegolith because there was a lot of gay stuff going on in the Boy Scouts. There was a lot of man on boy sex and like all kinds of gay stuff happening in the woods in the buttfuck middle of nowhere. And that's why I kind of got out of it because it was way too rapey for me.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like some kinky stuff, but I'm like, this is way too R-y for me. And every year that I went to Boy Scout camp, I would come home with a chick's phone number. So I would actually end up having sex with the only female that was up at camp because everybody else was having sex with each other. So I was like, hey, you want to hook up? And she's like, yes, please have sex with me. Oh my God, everybody else won't. So yeah, and you're not supposed to wear it as clothing. It's supposed to only be set up as a flag, and it's supposed to be with the stars and the stripes in that way, and only that way. You're not supposed to change it in any way, shape, or form. And it has a size, a dimensional size that it's supposed to be as well. Yep. If I remember. Yeah, no, I'm totally. I'm totally.
Well, that's like
wait,
flags. There's certain flags. If you change the dimension, it actually becomes the flag of another country.
Sure, or it's distorted, and that's the reason why the stars are this in that size, and then the length of the So it makes it just so it's not distorted because you can make it like this weird stubby thing, and it can look weird as But anyways, Pastor says you're still a virgin. Yeah, totally. That's what. If you got that out of whatever I just said, then
that's why there are porn movies made with.
Yeah, that's why. That's why there's. Yeah, that's why I have porn out. Never mind. Woo. I worked for sex dungeons, swinger corporations, and did anyways. I've had sex in public so many times. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Like we already know this, except for
sex
him.
In public. No.
Oh, I've had sex in public. Yeah, not me. No, I've never done that. No, and not on camera in public. And never mind.
Oh, yeah, not on camera in public.
No, never. That's never happened. I don't have a hard drive full of that stuff. Anyways, yes, and the Boy Scouts and Eagle Scouts are connected with the military, or they used to be. No, they're still a thing. That is a main line. From what you would do is you would go into the Boy Scouts and then you would go into the military. What was the military school organization that was there in high school? Trumpets.
With that, I actually think that that's pretty smart to have like the Boy Scouts like already prepping young boys to become your murder slaves.
Well, mainly what mostly happened when we ROTC. Thank you very much, Pet Dragon. Thank you. That's it. Thank you, Jinx. That's what I was thinking of. So what it is, it goes Boy Scouts, ROTC, and then the military. There is a streamlined process that the Americas has figured out to get very, very young children now. Because I was going to say young boys because I was thinking of the Boy Scouts, but now it's with the Girl Scouts as well. So
not anymore, I think. Right?
Marines go for the bottom 10% of the class, don't
they? That's the army.
Marine.
That's the army. The army is the.
Well, it's part of the military, but surely.
Yes, but it's the army that goes for the low-hanging fruit. not to be a
No,
dick, and
not
I'm
too-
sorry,
not too
everybody who
low.
was in the army, but it is like Air Force. It goes Special Forces, Marines, Air Force, Navy, and Army is technically the lowest.
Well, I'm not
And-
saying that's the majority that join the army. Of course
Yeah,
not.
no,
I'm
yeah.
saying that's who they target, whether they join or not. They seem to.
Well,
target.
there is an IQ limit because
They're
at
really-
one point they
they're-
actually did like, oh yeah, let's try and get the stupidest people in. Like we don't need them back home, you know, that
it's-
kind of idea.
Hold on. It's more like, all right, later. We'll see ya. I know it's too boring for you. I get it. Anyways, it's
Have
more.
you ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
Yes, of
Have you ever
course.
seen
Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket? It's basically
Hey.
the what's name. The test is, have you got a pulse?
Hey,
That is the
boy.
test.
Hey, boy, where are you from? You're from Texas? Well, all that I know about Texas is steers, beers, and queers. I don't see no steers or bears, so you must be a queer. I'm pretty sure that's from that movie
Yeah,
when
it is.
they're. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I don't know anything about that movie at all. Anyways, no, but the same difference. But no, what they're really looking for is physicalness. If you don't have a brain, but you can like dig holes, you can like aim, you can take orders. They don't give a flying beep anything else. I mean, that's part of it. The only thing that
but like
sucks is
there actually is a limit because
I'm
there
sorry.
was a point where they didn't have a limit, and so many people just fucking died, just like they were.
Yeah,
useless.
no. To be a ranger here, and that's what we've been talking about, like with head sex, and we'll be going over that a little bit in a second, because he says that women should not be, and we're snowballing into that in just a second, which is awesome. To be a ranger, so they have lowered the standards in the Americas for the military for sit down jobs, stationary, like being in front of a computer, shoveling papers, accounting, things like that, right? But to be a ranger or to actually be in combat, you still have to carry 100 pounds of gear, running 50 miles and blah, you still have to pass all of the physical tests. And that's what's even funnier. Like Cunt Sack in a second is going to say, oh, women shouldn't be in the front line of the military. Dude, if that badass bitch can fucking carry 100 pounds of fucking gear, run through everything and do everything else the fucking dude next to her can fucking do, I am not letting her not do that. What are you talking about? Let her do that. Who's gonna tell her no, you idiots? She's probably one of the biggest, baddest bitches that are fucking around. What are they fucking, like, some of my exes? There's no way I would even try to like start a fight with them. Like my ex Adrian, dude, she was a big ass bitch. And then like the other Tense, she was an ex-Marine. She was a fucking big built, like,
Slim.
Slim? What?
Then you should know there is no such thing as an ex-Marine.
No, obviously, but dude, like, you wouldn't want to mess with these ladies that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But let's crack on. Let's go a little bit more with this, and then we'll crack.
Well,
yes,
he's that heckler in the crowd said he was a misogynist, and he is. He's just a prick.
Yes. So let me try to see if I have a video of that really quick, and then we'll get on to some of the other stuff. I thought I had more stuff saved for him, but oh yeah. Where's her talking about it? Where's her talking? She is, that's Bondi. Somebody just popped in, so will somebody bring that in? All right,
Commander.
Hey, Commander.
Let me just hey, Commander. Let me just double check really quick because
hello, everybody.
We'll crack back to let's see.
How trippy is your trip? Oh.
We'll go.
Everyone's
with
in
more
good spirits. We're going to be going to museums tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Awesome. Okay, so it's just Homie that's saying that, but let me go and find I want to see when Homegirl fucking pones the shit out of this dumbass twat. Let me see. Which one is this one? That's when he's talking. That's when he. I want to find where there's this fucking.
Yeah, but I noticed that when the Democrats spoke, it just sort of.
No,
fucking
I'm not gonna watch. We're not gonna
went on
watch
forward.
Fox News. Okay. So here we're gonna get to this one.
Distinguished.
And I know it's Forbes, but they're actually like playing it. I usually do not want to use Forbes because they're usually very, very right wing biased, but they are playing like the clips. So we're gonna watch some of this. Although I feel like I'm gonna get copyright claim by play. I think we have them in the past, but we're gonna just play sections of it anyways. So now let's get into when this gentleman starts asking questions.
That's 7 years of interruption between his service and his appointment. Second point is that if any of us were appointed as Secretary of Defense, we would be.
Okay. I want to get to this lady because she just fucking pones the shit out of him. And this is what I really wanted to talk about is this.
Is about whether you are qualified to be Secretary of Defense. And one of the qualifications, to answer my colleague's question, is to actually win the votes of every member of this committee and to be confirmed by the United States Senate. And you need to convince us that you're worthy of that vote, because the people of the state of Illinois voted for me to be their senator so that I could cast that vote when it comes to picking who is going to be the next Secretary of Defense. This hearing now seems to be a hearing about whether or not women are qualified to serve in combat, and not about whether or not you are qualified to be Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, rip him up. Go, girl. I fucking love this shit.
And let me just say that the American people need a SecDef who's ready to lead on day one. You are not that person. Our adversaries watch closely during times of transition.
No shit,
Welcome, Carrie.
And any sense that the Department of Defense that keeps us safe is being steered by someone who's wholly unprepared for the job puts America at risk. And I am not willing to do that. With that in mind, Mr. Hexeth, I want you to.
He left already, Carrie, but next time, let's see if we can get that to happen. Ooh, that would be so fun if we could get him to like. I brought them in. Yep. Hey, Commander. That would be awesome if we could get him to like interact with us live some way, shape, or form. Ooh, that would be a lot of fun. And have people join prior to the stream. Okay, well, we can figure something out. We'll talk to him and see if we can actually get him on and like do. I don't debate people, but we will totally try to like go and talk with him and discuss things. But I'm not a master debater. I am a semi-debater.
You're a master debater.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a master debater. I'm a master debater, but I am not a master at debating. I'm a master baiter. I mean, I can bait like a mug, bro, but I'm not good at debating. Anyways,
to try to explain to the American people, this committee, who have to vote for you, and to our troops who are deployed around the world, why you are qualified to lead the Department of Defense. We already know that you've only led the largest of 200-person organization.
200 people.
We already know that you so badly mangled a budget that after you left, they had to bring in a forensic accountant to figure out what went wrong. And that
forensic.
Have you ever heard those words put together?
Yeah.
The forensic accountant.
They're the people who
yes.
But
like,
I have. Go ahead.
That means like if they need that, like then they're looking for like where did you put that money that you should not have put there?
That means you fucked up, homie. Like at that point in time, it means like you mismanaged stuff. You mismanaged stuff so much they went, oh my Jesus Christ! Like how? And I don't know if you all know this, and we did kind of go over this, but he literally took some of his employees or people in the nonprofit to a strip club, and they spent thousands of dollars. And he goes, well, they serve food there, so why shouldn't we have gone? We just went to go eat. Yeah, with fucking bitches fucking naked, and you can't just sit at the thing and not fuck. What are you talking about? And there's like a cover and like all. What are you talking about? You thought it was okay to take your business people from a nonprofit, to the best of my knowledge, and I could be wrong. And if somebody has any other knowledge that I am being wrong with this, took them to a goddamn fucking strip club and paid for things and stuffs. Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is fucking annoying. He is a fucking douche nozzle. And when he says later, I don't know if we're going to get into it because we have so much to get through. He says, oh, I was like told that my Christian tattoo was racist. No, that's a racist tattoo, motherfucker. Like, that is not just a Christian tattoo. Your tattoos all over your body, all of them are racially guided. It's not just a mundane, like if you just had like Jesus loves or something, then cool. But no, you literally have fucking like phrases that are from fucking crazy regimes. Let's put it that way, because they're not all Nazi, but they are very, very racial. And if you know symbology, that's you. So let's crack on.
The largest budget you ever managed was about $18 billion. You know, that is about 51,560 times lower than the Department of Defense budget of $825 billion. $16 million is 51,568 times smaller than the defense budget. Please describe to me, Mr. Hexeth, you talk about DOD passing an audit. Please describe to me a time or an organization when you underwent an audit, because you say you're going to hire smarter people than you to run this audit. I'm not asking you to be an accountant. I want you to be able to tell me what kind of guidance will be given to those employees, what will happen if whether or not you pass that audit. Have you led an audit of any organization? Yes or no? I don't want a long answer. Yes or no? Have you led an audit of any organization of which you were in charge?
Senator, in both of the organizations I ran, we were always completely fiscally responsible.
Yes or no?
That's not being audited, dumbass. That is you saying that you recorded things properly. And brainless.
What?
There we blow. All right. So now that we have our channel sponsor here, our sexy, yes, definitely. He's a big, sexy, strong, big man. And I'll stop right there. Anyways, welcome, Skit. Oh my Jeebus. Welcome, Skits. You came just in time because we're like actually just scratching the surface of going over this. And I know because you are in the military or you're ex, but you still work with, you're going to love us going over this. And I'm guessing that you probably know most of the things about that we're going over here anyways, but laugh along with us. Yeah, he gets you every time. Come on. Gives you every time and he's questioning about his shift in attitude towards women. Yes, and we're gonna get to that. That's what's coming up, I think, next after a couple more lines of questions she's about ready to talk about, but then she gets to that. I believe it's this lady that talks about that.
Oh, did you lead an audit?
And the way
yes or no, did you lead an audit?
Stated,
yes or no? What are you afraid of? You can't answer this question. Yes or no, did you lead an audit? Do you not know this answer?
Senator, every part of my leadership of these organizations has been misrepresented.
I will take that as a
Jesus, he can't even answer. He never answers a question this whole time. I swear to Bob.
No, he can, but he won't. That's called evading.
Well, he's media trained. He's very, very media trained, and he knows how to duck and dive and dodge. Yeah, no, he knows how to not give an answer, but give an answer. He knows how to fill time by giving substance. Yeah, but not say anything.
Findings. So there were no findings because you've never led an audit. What guidance did you give the auditors? None, because you've never led an audit. Nobody expects you to be an accountant, Mr. Hexeth. What we expect is for you to understand the complexity of this Pentagon budget process that is absolutely necessary to outfit our warfighters. Look, the Secretary of Defense is required to make quick decisions every single day.
And are you willing to be able to do that? Okay. I'm going to go a little bit more with this, and then I may skip around some, but we'll see. I'm just going to speed it up just a tiny bit. Let's do it that way.
Yeah,
At
but
first,
one thing is for sure: if he gets the job, there will be no body armor
We're
suited
fucked.
for suitable for female bodies.
He's probably not even going to provide tampons for fucking women. Because he's such an asshole.
He is a fucking tampon.
Well, with high level information.
He's a fucking twat
Hey,
with
don't
them.
insult
Fuck you,
tampons.
cunt sack.
Tampons have a
Fuck
use.
you. Fuck you, cunt sack.
Provided for them. A Secretary of Defense has to have breadth and depth of knowledge. Right now, I am concerned that you have neither. Mr. Hexa, what is the highest level of international negotiations that you have engaged in, that you have led in? Because the Secretary of Defense does lead international security negotiations.
And what does he say? Oh my God! If you've not heard this, I'm sorry that you actually have to hear this, and I am going to slow down for him to give his answer because it's so redonkulous.
There are three main ones that the Secretary of Defense leads and signs. Can you name at least one of them?
Could you repeat the question, Senator?
Sure. What is the highest level of international security agreement that you have led? And can you name some that the Secretary of Defense would lead? There's three main ones.
So there's three different departments is what she's talking about. I know it sounded kind of convoluted. And if you are already like understanding this, but she is saying what sections of the I thought you left, Pastor. Well, welcome back, Dick Cheese. All right, here we go. So, anyways, so she is asking. There are three departments of this thingy that he is going to be in charge of that could go through audits and or that he could have to deal with foreign things. Does he know these? Which, I mean, she was no, he is definitely a D. Well, that's not exactly the right way to put it. He is just a white person hire. They're just giving fucking rich white people and popular white people jobs. And that's not DEI technically. It is just doing what systemic racism has been doing for the last 250 years, I guess.
I don't know how old is
Close
America?
enough. Close enough. Well, see, it started when we started. The whole race. I mean, when we started bringing over slaves. Well, when we started bringing over slaves was when the beginning of. I would call that, even though
that's when we started bringing slaves there.
Well, sure, of course,
the Dutch,
goddamn colonists. But anyways,
no.
But the other things, I know. That's Britain. I know. I know. But anyways, it was more like. I think 250-ish years ago that the slave thingy started happening, and then that's when the blah 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 blah, and that's that. Even though, like I just said a second ago, we did come over here and decimate all of the natives. Obviously, that happened first, but we didn't completely make them working slaves. We just put them on reservations and made them like not be seeable by the public, I guess is the best way to put it. I don't know. And we'll talk about that more when we're going over some of the things that we're going to be going over in a second, just because
sadly the history goes like this. Native Americans were treated slightly better than black people.
Yeah.
And white people were treated like king. And I said that sadly because everyone should have been treated the way that a decent person.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
the sad thing is that not much has changed over there with a lot of, especially the Christian-driven sector of America.
Wait, all of the fucking fascist, racist,
you suck.
They didn't come out of the woodworks because of Trump. No, we haven't seen in the last weeks. The fucking Nazis just fucking honestly walking down the goddamn streets with fucking flags and all this crap. And no, that's not happening now. No, God,
of course it is.
It's insane.
Racist? Where?
Like I thought, 2019. I had so much hope for the world, and I was like, yes, we're like going to be like everybody's going to be worldly, and we're going to like get to things, and like I'm going to travel. I was about ready to go and like spend a month in Tibet at a resort working, and everything was going to be paid for, and all these things were happening, and I had all these gigs that were set up, and I didn't have to do anything besides sit there and just take in all of the. And then freaking 2020 happened, and fucking it just
Donald,
now
yeah.
like it destroyed everybody's brains. It destroyed everybody. Everybody's brains got broken because we, being a society, being humans, how could we have dealt with that honestly on that scale with technology? If it was the Black Death. You know, I'm sure there was like insanity happening around for the next 20 years or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, but the Black Death made everyone act so crazy. They were forcing people to invest to dumping crap in the water and all kind of.
They were taking freaking cloves of garlic and wearing them under their armpits, thinking that was going to cause it so that they couldn't get the Black Death. I mean, there was so much conspiracy theorial things that were happening at the time that, like, that was just like localized. Now we had a thing where we had that epidemic like that, and we had that pandemic, and we had that closure, but then everybody was online, and we had this, and then everybody pigeonholed themselves into their own little community, and then we very, very much put ourselves into this little itty bitty bubble, and a lot of us still have not popped out of it, and that's the major problem right now. Is how do we get those QAnoners? How do we get those flat earthers? How do we get the frauditors? How do we get the sovereign citizens? How do we get the Moors? How do we get them to pop out of that bubble and realize they got duped because they broke their brain because of us being shut in? And like literally that's what happened.
You see, what's going to happen is a fat time of them are going to be like, wait, Trump is going to make our lives great. And then their lives turned even more shit than they are. And maybe by the process of a good swift kick in the ass, maybe they will come to sanity and then give Trump and the MAGAs a good swift kick in the ass. But until then, the meat's on backside, they're so goddamn thick, I don't think they're capable of learning.
So that's why we're calling this stuff out, and that's why we're doing the fuck around and find out stuff. We're only doing this to hopefully push this in their face. And go ahead, dog.
The Black Death is still a thing in parts of Africa and Asia and things like that. It's still going on. And with RFK Jr. as your as your health secretary, and the way he fucking believes health, maybe it will come back to America anyway.
No.
Well, actually, it is in America.
It's not. He's a champion of Nerval. That is his title.
Didn't get any of that.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Anyways.
Hey, hotel Wi-Fi, eh?
Anyways. We do have the Black Death here in America.
Well, there's background music to fucking everything up. And the whole Wi-Fi is.
Yes. And anyways, so
now it's cured by antibiotics. I mean, it's a simple thing.
We have the Black Death here, but it's only in the ground squirrels, the prairie dogs as of right now, and it's very, very rare that they are going to contract it too. But yes, I do get what you're getting at. That was a good one, dog, for sure. But let's crack on and let's listen to this lately take the piss out of cunt sack.
Yeah.
Nut sack, head sack, whatever.
Excess. Nut sack. I'd prefer nut sack.
And I'm gonna step away from. Sure. I'm gonna call him everything because I don't give a flying about this motherfucking douche nozzle because he is a fucking womanizer, a fucking abuser, and this douche nozzle should have nothing to do anywhere close to being in power of this level. He was never a somebody. He's always been a nobody. but he was a commentator on goddamn motherfucking Fox, and he would be drunk. I'm a functional alcoholic, okay? But I only YouTube channel, and I swallow my own swords, and I like, you know, I don't do anything that like has power, right? This motherfucker.
And for fuck's sakes, I'm more qualified to run the Pentagon because I actually worked for. No, I'm thinking of the Navy Secretary, but now I'm probably qualified to run the Pentagon simply because I'm not as big a douchebag as him.
Well, and your security clearance probably is higher than his bid. I don't know because he's never disclosed that, and I have not heard
I
that
had
even
top.
though they
I could have
asked.
looked at nuke prints.
Yeah, so
I
again,
used to look at nuke prints.
yeah, and this douche nozzle won't talk about what clearance he has, and they'll find that out in a second. But let's go.
would
Let's crack
actually
on.
be quite interesting. But
Yeah, let's crack on because she gets more into this because she says this. She's doing what she needed to do by going through the process of starting here, then going to the next place and going, your qualifications do not get you to this point. So let's crack on. I'm going to step away for just a second to grab a burr because I definitely need more alcohol to fucking go over this goddamn motherfucking bullshit. And we're only on the first motherfucking subject so far. And I want to at least get to it, like Bondi, if not like one more. But let's crack on. I'll be right back.
I have not been involved in international security arrangements because I have not been in government other than serving in the military. So my job has been to
So no, the
lead
answer is,
men
can
and
you
women in
name one of the
combat.
three main ones that the
You're
Secretary
talking
of
about
Defense
defense
signs?
arrangements. I mean, NATO might be one that you're referring to.
Status of Forces Agreement would be one of them.
Status of Forces Agreement. I've been a part of teaching about Status of Forces Agreements.
But you don't
inside
remember to mention
Afghanistan.
it? You're not qualified, Mr. Hexeth. You're not qualified. You talk about repairing our defense industrial complex. You're not qualified to that. You could do acquisition and cross-servicing agreements, which essentially are security agreements. You can't even mention that. You've done none of those. You talked about the Indo-Pacific a little bit, and I'm glad that you mention it. Can you name the importance of at least one of the nations in the ASEAN?
Oh my Jesus.
I wonder if he says Japan.
He goes
Wait,
on
I
about
wonder if he
Australia.
mentions Japan.
Yeah, that's exactly what, like, I was ready to say that, bro. Good one. Yeah, Pastor, finally, I agree with you. Just wait to see what he says. Yes, exactly. Son of a beast, man. Oh my Jesus.
It was you that paused it.
No, I know, but I had to because goddamn motherfucker.
Japan's defensive naval forces are actually quite impressive.
I think if it, Dark Matter is who you're is that who you're talking to, or is that Dark Matter? Okay. Their channel, yeah. Everybody go and check them out. We know what real men look like, and this douche nozzle does not look like a real man. He looks like a real douche.
Well,
In ASEAN,
a real man can
and what
look
type of
like
agreement we
however
have
the
with
fuck he wants.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I do what I want because Dark Matter was a paratrooper, totally. And you watched it live. You didn't watch it live. Watched. If there's an E, never mind. I'm a grammar person sometimes.
We don't spelling shame here.
No, I know. No, well, I'm doing it to him because it's him. Like, I'm not going to do it to you or any person who their first language is not English. Because, of course you're going to get it wrong because English is fucking dumb as crap. But what is a real man? No, I was just making a joke because of blah. But no, he's a bro man. He's not like a man, even though, like, what is that? It doesn't matter. When I think of a manly man, I think of a big ass fucking bear, a big ass fucking hairy gay dude. That's a man to me. Even though he fucks another dude in the butt or gets it, to me, that's a man. When I see a big ass fucking 300-pound fucking dude with a bigger beard than I have right now, and he's fucking yoked, and I'm like, well, that's a man, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can I say that is a man? Or just a big buff dude, you know? And most of the time they're gay. That doesn't matter, but that's usually a man. But again, I'm just being silly right now. Obviously, somebody clip that out and say that I'm totally sexist or something. I don't know. But it is whatever you want to be. But head sack, he's a fucking douche. He's not a man. He's a douche.
At least one of those nations. And how many nations are in ASEAN, by the way?
I couldn't tell.
And he went into this knowing that he needed to know information about stuff, and he didn't fucking look it up, you idiot.
Tell you the exact
No, you
amount of
couldn't.
nations
You
in
would
that,
not
but I
even
know we have
bother to do
allies
it.
in
You mean
South
he
Korea and
study?
Japan, and
Yeah, no, all he did was the night before, he probably fucking.
I'm sorry.
No, so I feel like the night before this happened, because this is two days ago. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I feel like the night before this happened, he was fucking doing hookers, snorting coke off their ass while he was like pounding them, while he was drinking a bottle of champagne, like we have all the photos of him doing. I don't feel like he did what you're supposed to do before you have a test, or what we're calling a hearing, which is like going to court technically, and or other thingy-mabobbers, which is you're supposed to study for the goddamn test, you twat whistle, you fucking loser. Like, he is so not prepared for this, but he's like, I am a rich white man, so, and again, I think he got hired, unfortunately. Like, I'm not 100% sure, but Jesus Christ, I can't believe it's idiot. We live in idiocracy.
in AUKUS with Australia, trying to work on submarines with them.
Oh, thank you for telling me my suit's nice. That's so great that you told me that. I love my suit too. My birthday suit, my favorite suit. I like it.
Except none of those countries are in.
If you're saying Hexet suits is fucking nice, you're fucking high, homie. You're totally a troll. I love how much of a troll you are. You're a fucking amazing troll. I love that you're here and you're our troll. You're our house troll. I love that.
ASEAN. None of those three countries that you've mentioned are in ASEAN. I suggest you do a little homework before you prepare for these types of negotiations. Listen, Mr. Hexeth, we ask our troops to go into harm's way all the time. We ask them to go into harm's way. And this.
Okay, she's going to go over the creed. So there was another person that also, I'm going to go back and see if I can find really quick just
Senator
one more
Duckworth is Senator Duckworth was a competent military person.
Yes. Sky News Australia says 5 times Pete Hegseth humiliated the Democrats during the dramatic confirmation hearing. Yeah, that's what happened. That's totally what happened. So it was 4 hours long, 4 hours and 24 minutes long. We're totally not going to watch that. And I wanted to get into, let's let this gentleman talk really quick, and then we'll get on to the next person.
Kane, or I guess I better use the senator from Virginia, starts bringing up the fact that what if you showed up drunk to your job? How many senators have showed up drunk to vote?
Oh, this guy talks about how people have been drinking on the job being on the Senate.
Never shown up to my job. Never shown up to a job.
Broken up.
I've never shown up drunk to a job.
Yeah. Come.
Okay, so I don't know where we have them talking about him like doing more infidelity. And anyways, let's get on to the next thingy-mabobber that we should be going over, which is Bonnie Bondi. We'll go over some Bondi stuff. And then we'll go from there.
Some bondage stuff? Nice.
Totes.
What?
Let me just double check on all C. We get to here. Let's go where here she may have perjured herself. But let's see.
You're watching the.
We're gonna wait until. Thank you for letting us use this, but we're gonna get into where it's actually part of where she says something. Okay, maybe she doesn't hear. Okay, let's get into this one then. I believe this one has her speaking.
At issue, I believe, in this nomination hearing is not your competence nor your experience. At issue is your ability to say no. More than any other cabinet official, the Attorney General has to be prepared to put the Constitution first and even tell the President of the United States you're wrong. The political danger and personal costs of such a decision are well documented. You have only to ask former Attorney General Jeff Sessions and Bill Barr, whom Donald Trump sacked for lack of loyalty. And so I have three basic questions I'd like.
He said you're fired.
Like to ask you. Most Americans believe that central to the peaceful transition of power in a democracy is the acceptance of the results of an election. To my knowledge,
let's see what she gives the answer.
Pastor, what's wrong with witches?
To this.
Just people?
Witches are my favorite. And she
It's
is
just
a witch.
like being a Christian, like that's their
Witches
their
are-
belief.
We're
Who's a
just
witch?
progressive women.
Wait, who's a witch? You think Bondi is a witch? Okay, all right. Oh, cool. All right. I don't know why you think she's a witch, but okay.
Donald Trump has never acknowledged
Okay, well, let's crack on and let's see what her answer is to this.
the legal results of the 2020 election. Are you prepared to say today under oath without reservation that Donald Trump lost the presidential contest to Joe Biden in 2020?
Ranking Member Durbin, President Biden is the President of the United States. He was duly sworn in, and he is the President of the United States.
Oh,
there was a peaceful transition of power.
Unite like why can't she say United States?
Did she call it peaceful?
I don't know. We'll go back, but I love how she said
died. People died.
Sworn in, and he is the President of the United States. There was a peaceful transition of power. President Trump left office and was overwhelmingly elected in 2024.
Do you have any doubts that Joe Biden had the majority of votes, electoral votes necessary to be elected president in 2020?
You know, Senator, all I can tell you as a prosecutor is from my firsthand experience.
She gave a lot of hands in her experience in the past. Never mind.
And I accept the results. I accept, of course, that Joe Biden is president of the United States. But what I can tell you is what I saw firsthand when I went to Pennsylvania as an advocate for the campaign. I was an advocate for the campaign, and I was on the ground in Pennsylvania, and I saw many things there. But do I accept the results? Of course I do. Do I agree with what happened? And I saw so much, you know, no one from either side of the aisle should want there to be any issues with election integrity in our country. We should all want our elections to be free and fair, and the rules and the laws to be followed.
Except for when you gerrymander and then you're using an electoral college and then you like make it so people have to get an ID, and the only way to get that ID is to even pay $1. And like if there's people that are already like homeless.
No, but
are you gonna
just the fact? No, even if it was free, it's wrong because it is It's
You
putting
have to
up
give
a
up a
barrier.
day of work.
It's putting up a barrier. Any
Yeah.
barrier to vote
And,
is
that's
evil.
the main thing, because you have to go into an office, and even if it's free, like thank you, Brainless, you have to go in, you have to get your picture taken, you have to go show fucking identification enough for them to like make you an ID card for you to go and vote and blah blah blah. Literally, you should just be able to go, and it should be just like signature things, because
Let me tell you something that probably will shock most Americans.
What?
When it's time to vote here, I get something in the mail.
Yeah,
that's my papers to go vote. It gets mailed to everybody in the country that is able to vote. That's allowed to vote will get papers sent to them.
One of the only good things. Go ahead.
In America, they just don't want people with certain colored skin to vote, certain income, certain areas. And that's just the way it is. Unfortunately, it makes it important.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, no, but like that is just such a clear thing that like your voting system isn't fair.
It's
It just
broken,
fucking
and it's
isn't.
not. No, that's why I don't vote. That's exactly why. If these things were changed, I would feel way more comfortable doing it. But again, I'm not gonna waste my time going out and fucking looking up these things, reading about all this stuff to go in to have the government do whatever it wants. Anyways, when we voted in pot to be legal in Fort Collins a gazillion and a half years ago, one pastor went around and got fucking signatures because he said all the fucking kids are going to start smoking weed, and he got all the religious people in town, because even though we're a college town, we're very, very red. We're purple as crap, but there's a lot of red around, especially the outsides, because there's farms everywhere. Like literally there's like 4 farms right around where I'm living right now. So anyways, he flipped it over. I had friends that fucking got $2 million loans to start a fucking pot dispensary, and they were growing and blah, blah, blah. This motherfucker got it flipped over in 6 months. Some of those friends are homeless now. Like, I think a couple of them unalived themselves. Like, just because a fucking pastor just wanted to be a fucking dick cheese, and the government is so fucked up that literally you can just make anything happen if you want, and there's enough people in that place that want to just go along with your shit, then your votes don't even count.
Yeah, no, but like with stuff like that, like just point to the Netherlands. Like, it's not like everybody here is always high on weed. Like, and
what?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's only in Amsterdam, right?
I think most of the people have tried it.
Yeah,
I haven't, but like I think most people have tried it. But
what? You've never tried marijuana? Seriously?
Nope.
What? Not even an edible. Like, 'cause I understand not smoking. I understand. Okay, whatever. CBDs. You've never tried a CBD?
Nope.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't smoke, and like,
And that's again.
I never
you
had
don't have to
friends
smoke it.
that were into that. So yeah,
You don't have to smoke it. It's an awesome muscle relaxant and stuff, and you can do edible. But I'm not pushing.
And like,
I'm just saying.
I hate smoking. But
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
I love the smell of weed.
You can get chocolates, bro. You can get chocolates. You can get gummies. You can get all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
but I you know how I eat. You know how I eat, right? But then
It's
again,
semi-healthy. But
lately
anyways, I'm not pushing.
I learned like there is no such thing as a cannabis overdose. So
You do you, boo, for sure. So now let's get into Mark Rubio being questioned about his views on the war in Ukraine, because this bitch says she is literally just like, all the female. Okay, I'm not gonna say it that way. I'm sorry. All the humanoid robots that we saw yesterday for the CES.
Yeah,
Literally one of those. Not a sex version. She just is going to be like, I am going to say,
yeah, they're coached to say all that nonsense.
I am here for the money. Whatever I need to do, I will do. Same with this douche nozzle. at least he is better at scapegoating, even though she's a lawyer or something. I think I don't know, but anyways,
Prosecutor. So basically a lawyer.
a prostituter. I mean prosecutor. Yeah.
I appreciate, we talked about Ukraine. I appreciate your past leadership in supporting Ukraine's fight for sovereignty. More recently, you voted against supplemental funding for Ukraine and against forgiving loans
Why?
for Ukraine in November. Loans that would be critical to Ukraine's economic stability. So can you talk about how your views on Ukraine have developed and where?
I know we're screwed completely, but I don't know what else to do. Like, I mean, I'm gonna try to after this year, after I tour, I'm gonna try to get my passport. I'm gonna try to get stuck in another country, if you know what I mean. On a
Get
passport.
stuck in another country?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go to another country on a passport and get stuck somewhere, and then write it out until they deport me, or hopefully I can get citizenship in a place or two, or that I can get other. We'll see. We'll see in the next year or so, because I really do want to go to other countries, not just because of what's happening here, but I really feel like it needs to be sooner than later, because I don't know how long my health is going to keep up, even though there's nothing wrong with me. But I would rather go and tour.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, I'm a functional alcoholic, obviously.
Okay, you were saying physically.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no, and mentally, I'm completely beeped. But no, but I feel like I want to go and try to go on tour in the Europe and in other places now, rather than in a couple years. You know what I'm saying? So this year I'm going to spend going to the other states, hopefully, that I've not been into. I would like to go to the South. I'd like to go to the East, and even Florida, obviously, to where the nightlife is, the beach life, where the Southern Shore Boys or whatever that is, that thing where those punk ass bitches are. There's the cheapest. Where's the cheapest whiskey made? I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like you have the answer that you're not saying. Yeah, no, Slim's going to pork and alligator. Totally. I mean, hey, you haven't lived, boy, until you fingered an alligator. Isn't that what what's his name said? Steve Irwin. Never mind.
Come to UK, man.
The hotel where I am staying at, right, is cheaper than my rent in America. And it's nice.
Yeah, I'm down. And especially if I can bring a couple of cute performers with me, or a couple of us can go together, then we can have a lot of fun, and we can make a whole
crazy that the hotel is cheaper than your rent.
Yeah, it's weird. It's London. It's clean. They got a nice bar and cafe on the ground floor, and it's cheaper than my rent in a small town in America.
Okay. Yeah. I get you. All right. Let's crack on more with this, because I have a handful of other things I would like to get into, other than
I'd like to get
the MAGA douches getting their fucking shit kicked in. Let's put it that way.
Where you are now and what you think is important for us to do in order to ensure that there's the strongest possible negotiating position if Ukraine and Russia do get to the negotiating table.
Sure. First, let me point out, and although I'll still speak to my view of the process, that I voted against that bill because I said I would not vote for a bill unless it addressed the crisis at our southern border as part of the overall arrangement. That was not done. And so I voted against.
Why did that need to be a thing that was put in there? Why? Why did that need to be put in there?
Because it was a poison pill to try to stop it. So that, they'll hold it up while saying, yeah, we'll vote to help Ukraine. It's just that we want to tie it to something completely unrelated. And then when they got everything they wanted, they still didn't vote for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because what Donald, the Mexican agreement, Donald Trump told them to stop, even though it was going through. But anyways, let's crack on more with this, and then see what he says about the Ukraine stuff and things, and just how he scapegoat. He sidesteps around. He does the waltz around the stuff. Let's put it that way.
Against it. That said, here's my view of a situation. Once this war became what we now know it is, and that is a war of attrition, a stalemate, a protracted conflict, the dynamic on that situation has changed. It has. And I believe, and I think that this echoes with the president. Let me first echo the president's words and what he said in an interview about a year ago. He was asked about the war in Ukraine. He says, I want the dying to stop. I want people to stop dying. I want the killing to stop. And frankly, I don't know how anyone could.
And there's just one way to do that. Well, there's two ways. That's give Ukraine to Russia, not a fucking option. And the other one is just obliterate the Russian army.
Yep.
Just keep going until they don't have anybody else left to fight.
I never noticed this about this dude until now. Dude, he's got bat ears.
He can go sailing.
I mean, I know I have fucked up weird. Dude, no, they're like bat ears. They're like da 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 da. I'm Batman. Like bat ears, and look at his nose. He's got like bat nose too. He's like literally like. Is he part bat? I think he is a hybrid. I think he's part bat. I don't know how he's out in the daylight. Do you think that he would be scared of the light and he would like try to hide in a corner in the dark? But I don't know. But anyway. Okay, let's crack on.
Say they don't. The destruction that Ukraine is undergoing is extraordinary. It's going to take a generation to rebuild it. Millions of Ukrainians no longer live in Ukraine. And the disruption, that means how many of them are going to come back, and what are they going to come back to? Even as I speak to you now, the Ukrainian infrastructure and their energy infrastructure is being decimated in ways that are going to cost hundreds of billions of dollars to rebuild over the next decade.
So how are you going to stop Russia?
So we need to support them.
Absolutely.
So, how are you going to stop?
Support them.
So how are you going to stop Russia from?
So guys, I want to present a image of a Russian armored transport.
Sure.
That I showed on my DSA. Let me see if I can give it to Brainless.
Yeah, go ahead, and we'll share that right quick, and then after that, we're going to share a thing about Trumpanites being mad that their HOA tells them they need to take down political flags and. You were breaking up like a mug, Commander. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I still don't understand how HOAs are even fucking legal.
It's because in the 1920s, I think, a bunch of rich white women decided that every single lawn needed to be green grass. There needed to be flowers that were always blooming. And a handful, like the paint always needed to be, and then it had to be certain color coded. And so there was an organization, I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, even though we've talked about them a handful of times, that started the HOA bull crap. And white people totally like ran with the bullshit once suburbia started, because they were like, oh, we don't want black people here and black people.
It's Karen Mafia.
No, it's totally the Karen Mafia. But now what is happening? They're fucking around and they're finding out. Now they're finding out because they fucked around, and now they're mad that now they found out they can't do what? So I'm gonna play this and then you play that right after, okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this. I want to play this.
Miami Lakes are upset after receiving notices warning them that their political flags must be taken down.
And they feel it's a matter of free speech. But the town of Miami Lakes says its ordinance is clear when it comes to political signs.
Yeah, that's why you don't have an HOA, you dumb cunts, you fucking idiots.
No,
You guys
like
put
no, but
fucking
no,
rules in
like
place.
if
but now,
they say
this
no
is the
political
leopards eating your
signs,
face.
like if they say no political signs, then like okay, but then it should be for everyone. I don't know if it's
It's for everybody.
if
Who do you wait, hold on. Honestly, who do you think only has flags right now that are political? It's only Trumpanites. All around my town, the only fucking flags I see that aren't American, that are other than American flags, sorry, is Trumpanite flags. There is not a fucking goddamn Biden Harris. There is not a left-wing flag raising ceremony or anything like that here. That's why. It's because those dumb cunts voted to not have political things because they didn't want the other fucking political thing up. And now they want to do it. And now they're crying about being fucking oppressed, and which is not oppression. I'm sorry. That's not the right way to put it. But now they don't like that.
What they think.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah. In their fucking white fucking privileged eyes. So that's literally all of that. So Brainless, if you want to share the other thing, and then I want to get into, I don't know who Zeldin is executively, but we're going to listen to them being questioned.
Let's see. Okay. Present. Let's do complete screen. Sorry if you hear some.
Thank you.
Okay, here we blow.
This one, that one. There. Russian armored truck. Slim must love this.
That's hilarious.
Welcome to The Walking Dead.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah.
I do think this is the
Zelda's the most sane one. Okay, well here we go with this because, like, no, it looks like a Mexican cartel tank. Totally.
I fucking love it. Like
it looks like it's been exploded a couple times already.
That's their armored personnel carrier.
Yeah, I know. It's redonkulously silly. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into is this Zelda? I think we're getting into Zelda now. Zeldin, yeah. We'll call him Zelda. Yeah. But it is Bernie Sanders. It's Zelda.
No,
go ahead.
No. We don't use that. We don't abuse that name. That's an awesome game.
Sure, whatever, sure. Let's call it. Let's everybody in the side chat find another name to call him. Then let's crack on.
Congratulations on your new title here. Zelda, thanks so much for coming in the office the other day. I enjoyed our chat. Mr. Zeldin, 2024, as you know, was the hottest year in recorded history. The past 10 years have been the hottest 10 years on record. We have seen in recent years unprecedented firefires in the West Coast and in Canada, and we're seeing the horrific situation in LA right now. We have seen unprecedented flooding in China, displaced millions of people there. Unprecedented drought in Brazil, Africa, and elsewhere. And in Southern Africa, people are.
Okay, so we're going to speed this up just a tiny bit because he does talk a little slow. It's okay.
Dying because of the drought and their inability to grow crops. Billions of people have been sweltering in Europe and elsewhere in unprecedented heat waves. In the midst of
yeah, dude. Right now, dog's getting freaking crotch rot from how hot it is between his legs. Jesus.
all of that, President-elect Trump has said that climate change is a hoax. You will be, if confirmed, one of the leading spokespeople in this country, representing us throughout the entire world. Do you agree with President-elect Trump that climate change is a hoax?
Well, first off, Senator, it was great to meet with you as well. I believe that climate change is real, as I told you. As far as President Trump goes, the context that I've heard him speak about it was with a criticism of policies that have been acted because of climate change, and I think that he's concerned about the economic costs of some policies where there's a debate and a difference of opinion between parties.
I would respectfully disagree with you. I think he has called it a hoax time and time and time again. And I would just say for the record that, and let me ask you this question, all right? Some of us have used the word existential threat. What we're seeing in LA right now is apocalyptic. And the other terrible weather disturbances, whether in the Midwest of this country, whether in many states that are represented right here.
We're about ready to go through a apocalyptic deep freeze, potentially in the next couple days here in the South and East. It most likely is going to hit us here in the Midwest. And we're totally going to see temperatures that we've never seen in certain parts of the South and the East Coast, for sure. I don't know how close it's going to get to me, but where everybody is preparing for a Arctic freeze.
Yep.
There's not a thing. That's not a thing here. There's not supposed to be an Arctic freeze in Colorado.
Of course there is.
In the mountains. Yeah, up in the mountains, there's an Arctic freeze.
No, come on, like that, because like climate change is a hoax. We all know it. This is just normal weather. Don't be fucking pussies.
I was not born in the goddamn motherfucking mountains in Estes Park, fucking in 1981, and up there during the time I lived up there, we did not see anything close to the weird fucking crazy not normal stuff. Literally, what you could do here in this part of Colorado is you knew that, like, during this part of the day, this was going to happen. Like in Fort Collins, Loveland, and Evans, and a couple places, like 4 o'clock, 2 or 4 o'clock every day around then, there would be a 10-minute rain in the spring, literally, like every single day during the spring and summer, or springish, definitely the spring, there would be a 10-minute rain, and just all the locals knew it. And so you'd be walking down the street and like you'd start getting hit with rain. Everybody, all the tourists are start ducking and diving. You know, they're covering themselves and they're getting under things, and you're just laughing. You just walk, and they're like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Give it 5 minutes. It's gonna be gone, and then it's gonna get hot again, and you're gonna be happy you got wet, actually." Because it's gonna be 90 degrees, even though it's fucking, sprinkling.
Aren't they always happy that they get what? Never mind.
Well, you're hoping, unless you're Ben Shapiro's wife, and supposedly that's a medical condition if his wife's pussy ever gets WAP. But anyways, let's talk about that later.
The floods in my small state of Vermont, we've been hit over and over again in recent years. Our state capital,
in Vermont,
was underwater recently in a way that we have not seen. Would you describe climate change as an existential threat, meaning that there must be an urgency to get our act together, to address it?
Senator, we must, with urgency, be addressing these issues. And today,
hey, Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
Saskatchewan. All right. Yeah, I hope that it passes over y'all first and gets to us before that. But yeah, the Arctic freeze is seeming to be heading our way from there.
as we talk about anyway at all, that the EPA can do its part and to make sure that our air and water are cleaner, healthier.
Staying on one, look, EPA has enormous responsibilities over an enormous number of areas. I'm focusing on picking up what Senator Whitehouse said. I worry very much. Do you have kids?
Yes, Senator.
Okay. I worry. Many of us have kids. We have grandchildren. This is serious stuff. This is beyond politics, my friends. This is the future.
And see, this is the thing that pisses me off about Major Green Twat, fucking Lauren Buttbort, head sack and Elon Musk, even though like he's like, I need to make as many children as possible because my bloodline needs to go on. It's like, no, it doesn't, you dumb cunt. You're a fucking idiot.
Your
You are
bloodline needs to
only
stop.
yeah, no, everything about
Your
him
blood
needs to stop.
stop pumping now. Oh,
Yeah, exactly, Timberly in Minecraft.
well, we,
and
we got some things in the dungeon that people might like. But
yeah, but anyways, just because you were born to a family that had a diamond mine that was bought in Africa in the
blood money,
70s, was it 70s or something?
blood money.
It was something like that. It was the 1970s, I think. Because yeah, no, he's definitely blood money.
No, that his family has a blood diamond mine that was stolen from natives.
Yeah,
Well, he was born to apartheid, which were basically your South African racists. He was brought up in that sort of community, so deep down, he's shown he's a fucking racist piece of.
Dude, do you know what he said in like his memoirs or like some fucking writings or journals or something? He goes, oh my God, when I was a teenage boy, we had to have somebody push the money into the vaults to close them at night.
The guy's a piece of shit.
Really. You had so much money that to put them in the vaults, you had to have like one of your siblings push the money in while your father closed the vaults. That's what you're joking about? You think that's normal? You think that's normal for goddamn? It was an emerald mine. Sorry.
Emeralds are pretty.
I'm sorry. It was an emerald mine. Whatever. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. He was born into white, fucked up privilege, like a motherfucker. Like being in South Africa in that trade with that being. You fucked over so many people's lives, and that's what you're doing right now. You're literally the worst person in the world. Like literally, Elon Musk is the worst person in the goddamn motherfucking world. Well, let's crack on.
Sure, of humanity. And if we do not get our act together, and that is not just the United States of America, this requires international cooperation. So let me.
See, you want to know how you know that this dude, even though like we talk about like crazy looking people all the time, you want to know how we know this dude is fucking like honest? He comes out onto the second floor with his hair fucking looking like that. He doesn't give a flying fuck. He's like, I'm not here to like look good. Look at like the cuffs that he's got. The fucking suit he's wearing is like 2 sizes too small. He's got this little itty bitty pin. He's got a very muted tie. You know, it's blue, but it's like, you know. He's not here for the fame, the rich and the famous. He's here
for the people.
Yeah, and he's here to fucking
I love Bernie.
Me too. And he's here to pwn people.
Let me ask you another difficult question. If tomorrow, magically, the United States Congress did all of the right things, that would not be enough. Climate change is a global crisis. It requires the cooperation of China, Russia, Europe, Latin America, etc. Are you prepared to represent the United States aggressively with some of your colleagues in reaching out to countries all over the world to cut carbon emissions?
Senator, it's very important for I, as administrator of EPA, whether traveling to the G7 or the G20 or elsewhere, to be reaching out to these other countries to make sure.
Yeah, you want to know why you're going to be so important in reaching out to those people is because Trump is not allowed to go to those places. So you're going to be the one that's going to be in between for that. So.
Yep, if you don't want to be in the same country as Trump, you have to any industrialized democracy that isn't the United States. You can't go there.
Yeah, and see how that works for you. Just like I'm gonna springboard off of what you just said, Commander, in a different way. Well, even going. MAGA Knights went to Canada thinking they were going to be like represented, and they were like, no, get the fuck out of here. And then like there's those couple TikTok families that moved to like Russia and thought they were going to be accepted, and then some of the other ones that moved to like China and stuff because like they thought the Democrats were going to win. And it's like, you just fucked around and found out how the world works, you dumb cunts. Like, Did you not understand you not knowing the language and or you can't go to another country and get a bank account if you don't have the right paper trail, you idiots.
Oh, and in addition to that, right? I'm running into people shit posting stuff on the internet that says 95% of the world is happy Trump is president. That's how little they know about the world.
Yeah.
Where was that poll taken? What is that
95% of
from?
their
And what
world,
was
maybe.
the what was the
That
sample
poll-
size that they took?
Well, that poll was taken out of someone's backside after an act of sodomy.
No, it was and they took laxatives
I'd like
right
some
before.
sodomy.
So afterward, it just was like water coming out of the back end as well. So it was just completely shite. But let's crack on with Major Green Twat saying what again?
A lifelong Democrat politician. I don't even know if you had a job in the real world, but you have been an elected
Yep, I've had
politician
a
for
few of
years.
them.
Mr. O'Malley,
And
you're
I'm-
A person who is in front of you, you think they didn't have a job before that because they were Democrat? Why do you think Democrats never have jobs? That is one of the weirdest
She was
things.
clear. She didn't know what job. She didn't
Well,
know if
and
he had a
that's-
job.
Well, she doesn't know
didn't
what a
So
jo-
that's something about her, not them.
Yeah, she doesn't know what a job is. You want to know why? Because her family had a concrete company, a concrete pouring company, construction company. When she was growing up, they put her in charge of for a hot second, and then it went under, to the best of my knowledge. And then she ran 2 different gyms, workout gyms. And when she was running the second one, is when she had sex with the sex guru dude that she cheated on her first husband with, that she had already had 2 kids with, if I remember that properly. Then, yeah,
She's
totally
a right
wholesome
episode
Christian.
of Jerry Springer.
Well, and not just that, but this is what a wholesome Christian does. Lady, she claims to be a wholesome Christian, and she does everything that God fucking tells her in the God's word. Bitch, you are a fucking circus, just like fucking Lauren Butt Burp. Her fucking life is I know my life is complete like Jerry Springer show. I understand that, but I am not trying to run for goddamn Senate or in a government position. Although I should have a TV show, but these idiots should have a TV show and not be part of the Senate. Like Major Green Twat, just go and get a TV show. Lauren Butt Burp, just get a TV show. Just all these. Go ahead. You're breaking up like a mug. I'm sorry, Commander. You're breaking up like a mug.
Yeah.
So just let's
Okay,
go ahead, try one more time.
There's a picture. It's her in the Slim Cyborg Discord when she was 18. She was wearing a CCCP shirt and has as a communist flag.
Yeah, obviously. Of course she fucking was that way when she was younger, but now she turned into a fucking twat.
Also a Catholic, are you not? You're also a Catholic, are you not?
I am.
Do you serve God or do you serve the Democratic Party?
With anything.
I serve God.
It has nothing to do with anything, especially in Congress, especially in government. But listen to what she says. Listen to what she fucking says, dude. Just listen to what she says. And we're gonna go back just a little
If
bit.
he serves
to
God,
listen
he's
to her.
already disqualified
Yeah, exactly, Timely.
because he should serve the Constitution.
No, you
and the
didn't serve the
American
people. No, the people. Yeah, sure. The people, then the Constitution. Technically, I think is the right order, but it doesn't matter. Let's crack
Are you
on.
not?
I am.
Do you serve God or do you serve the Democrat Party?
I serve God. And
Okay, then Mr. O'Malley.
Mr. Chairman, as a
Mr.
Roman
O'Malley.
Catholic, I take offense
I
at the
reclaim
suggestion
my
that
time.
somebody.
Why does that have anything to do on the Senate or in
take-
Congress?
Oh, Slim, give me just one second.
1 second.
And look what greeting she gives.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Again, dude, she's a fucking dumb twat.
We don't want
cunt.
her too much on our screen.
Will you please put that back up?
No, okay. Well, but she's the more of her you see, the
No, not
more.
that dumbass. This.
Yeah, but they
Son
got
of a
pictures
beast.
of,
Here we go.
Jalen
Here we go. Here we go.
You can put it back up.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Mr. O'Malley, I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time.
Catholic.
Mr. O'Malley, will you be supporting the murder of the unborn up until the day of birth, like your?
But what do
Up
you
to the day
support?
of birth? What?
Yes. They
who
always
does that?
claim this, and it's fake.
I
At the
reclaim
suggestion
my
that
time.
somebody has
Mr.
to choose
O'Malley,
between
I
God
reclaim my
and their
time.
service to
I
country as
reclaim
a
my time.
Catholic.
Mr. O'Malley, will you be supporting the murder of the unborn up until the day of birth, like your party does? As DNC chair, will you be supporting?
Oh,
That's not a thing.
Untrue.
That's not a thing. That's called infanticide, and it's also called murder. The other thing about this is listen to his response, which is fucking amazing. Okay, so Saturday, everybody go over to there and go
Yes,
show
Saturday night,
him
okay.
some love. Please go subscribe and like and all that stuff for them. But listen to his response. It's fucking amazing. Yeah, I know this is completely insane, executively.
Supporting the murder of innocent unborn people? Is that in line with your faith in God and the Catholic Church?
I trust the judgment of women and doctors over the judgment of government.
No.
What did you say? Wait. Let's
He
listen to
trusts
that again.
women's judgment? Oh my God,
Yeah,
he must be evil.
Yeah, listen to this.
In the Catholic Church?
I trust the judgment of women and doctors over the judgment of government.
No. Do
What? Medical
That
people?
is
like-
awesome.
Yeah.
They trust doctors over the government. It's like the government bureaucrats and congressmen can't make medical decisions.
Yeah. Well,
I can't
why
believe-
would they be involved in this? What are we talking about? What's going on?
I can't believe she's still using that rhetoric up until the day of birth. They're getting rid of children. Why is she fucking saying that? It's not.
It's because
Because otherwise
only
it
thing
doesn't
they
sound
have to
scary
grip
enough.
onto. Yeah, that's
Otherwise
the
it doesn't
only-
sound scary enough.
Yeah, it's dun dun dun, a full-grown baby.
You don't want to tell the truth because the truth doesn't get you what you want.
Clicks. Well, it doesn't get you clicks and views, and it doesn't get you in the algorithms. You got to say weird, crazy shit. So, woo, you're popular, and then you get famous, and you get money from the clicks and views.
you trust God's judgment? Do you trust God that He loves and has created?
So why does
God
God
has nothing
let?
to do with the fucking government. Keep that fucking cunt out of your fucking government. You stupid
Sure,
fucking
but
cunt.
let me springboard off of something really quick that I thought of today while I was driving around while I was listening to this. Why would God let stillborns happen? Why would God let infants? Why would God let small things not exist?
Yeah, why would they give babies
and
AIDS?
also, the Bible. The Bible has instructions for
Getting rid of. Yeah, no, I know, totally. But
Numbers chapter 5, verse 11 through 22. And my mom had two stillbirths before she had us. They would have thrown her in prison.
Yeah. So once again, the redonkulousness of the thingies of the bobbers is silly because the Jeebus are the God already makes it so that like there was like once again.
And with stillborns, like God actually and miscarriages, God already performs abortions.
Drink the bit
No,
of
he
water.
already yeets the fucking young, which doesn't make any sense. Because once again, if there was a setup system for this to be a point system like a video game. We always are going to put it that way. If this existence is to get to the next stage of existence, why do some players never get to play the game? Don't you think
Because
if this
because their parents are sinners.
Well, they're born sinners according to the Christians. You're born a sinner.
No,
but
Jesus
again,
died for
but
those
hold
sins.
on. But hold on again. Does that make sense for a video game designer? If you were the controller of a thing that you could control, which is a like controlled system, right? Let's just say an atrium. There's a handful of things that we can already like use an example of that. Are you going to poison that system to just watch it die? Or are you going to try to make it thrive as much as possible? Through the system that we have, the key and the whole system is not set up to make it so we're better. Everything is trying to kill everything. Like, look at Australia. Everything is trying to kill and poison everything to eat everything. Like bacteria, everything. The COVID, everything is trying to kill everything else. It's a monstrous world.
Well,
why would you make that?
Technically, bacteria and viruses don't try to kill you.
Until the balance goes out or something, and then it mixes with something.
Whatever.
Whatever. No, fuck you. Whatever. You know what I mean, though, right? Everything is out to destroy everything. Like the whole world and universe is trying to destroy itself on top of itself, because that's how it works. Make things mixing together, water running over things, air mixing with things, wind, tornadoes, tsunamis, volcanoes. All of these things are destructive properties that are happening on this earth, which makes it so. Being a species that's sitting here, we're always being destroyed. Like push the wildfires that just happened in LA. What's going to happen in the next couple of days here in the Americas? We're going to have an Arctic freeze, which is not an actual thing in all of the parts that it's supposed to happen. So once again, now we're going over these like apocalyptic thingy-mabobbers, and let's crack on. Let's crack on and listen to this cunt bitch. Just
maybe
go
we're
ahead,
all
Commander.
in the. Maybe
Say it one
we
more
are
time.
all in the good place. Maybe we are all in the good place. Don't forget the.
If you don't know what The Good Place is, it's a TV show, and it's
really
pretty
good,
funny.
yeah.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Yeah, like is it only
It's
2 seasons?
It's on my list, but I first got to finish Squid Game.
No. Watch that first. Is it 2 seasons or 3? Anyways,
Two a Squid Game, the new one out. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
I don't care about Squid Game. I'm talking about The Good Place. Anyways, let's.
There's got 4 seasons, but you can watch it in a day.
Yeah,
if
it's
you're
full. Yeah, it's great. It's fucking awesome. I love it so much, and the people that they have acting in it are grade A actors and actresses.
Ted Danson.
So let's track on a little bit more with this, and then I'm going to skip ahead, or we'll get to another thing, and then I will grab another burr and we'll go. But we have to listen to this cunt say this.
Every single human being. Do you support the murder of unborn children? And are you going to uphold that evil practice that the Democrat Party wants to continue? You see, abortion.
Do you know what happens
Why
when
is
women
she talking this much fucking nonsense?
Because she's a hateful fucking shrew bitch. That's why.
Do you know what happens when women don't get the health care they need to take care of these things? Yes. So now you are having a full-grown woman, as well as including a non-vital fetal thing together. Now you have 2 deaths, you dumb cunt. You're a fucking idiot. Nobody goes around and motherfucking uses abortions, and she's going to say this in a second, It will go, well, she's going to claim that people are using abortions as contraception. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. Most of the time, people are using a condom, using birth control, using other thing, and they fucking, hey, I'm kind of feeling fat, or like, whoa, weird things are happening. I'm puking every morning for the last like 3 days. What the pissing the fucking stick? Well, I'm pregnant. Well, it's not planned, you bitch. Obviously, you cunt. 16-year-olds don't plan for fucking pregnancy, you fucking asshole.
And
we should
if
not
they want,
expect.
if they want to reduce abortions, increase sexual education.
And not just that, but access to contraceptive versions in multiple different kinds. There are multiple ways. And what we suggest, especially in the fetish scene, the dungeon scene, and the sexual scene of 21 and up adults at bars and clubs, multiple versions. So be on the pill.
And
Then
also,
have a condom, have him wear a condom. You know,
also, most
go ahead.
abortions are done in by Christian teens.
Yeah,
Most
because they
abortions
don't.
and
Because they
teenage
don't.
pregnancies are in the Bible Belt areas of America.
They're not.
Yes.
They're not done by teens. They're done. Teens are having
To
them
teens.
done, but I don't know if teens are doing them to each other. I don't have.
No. Teens are they're getting pregnant. Teenage pregnancy.
Yeah. No. Obviously. Yeah. Yeah. And
basically, the statistics show it's mainly Christian young girls that have it done because they got pregnant
by their
this
pastor
Because
and
of
stuff.
that.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Totally. So I'm gonna start playing this, and I will be right back. I know they're probably gonna commentate, but I need to go turn on the light for my food that's gonna be here in a second, and I need to get a beer. So
Over
let's crack on.
95% of them are unintended pregnancies. They use abortions as birth control.
Okay, I'm going to stop her right there. Number one, this notion that abortion is murder is a conspiracy theory.
Yes.
This notion that women use abortion as birth control is a conspiracy theory. Furthermore, this type of mixture of church and state has got to be banned from the public discourse. We need to have a completely secular government that relies upon facts. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a disgrace. She's stupid.
Yes.
Completely stupid, engages in magical thinking, and she doesn't give a shit about all these children that she claims that God loves, these beautiful children.
That should be added to the show as like a clip that we play every time we play an MTG.
And these two girls are great. This is I've Had It podcast. These are very good, these two girls. They're great.
I think I've seen some of their yeah.
Yeah, I like them. So go and send them some love anyway.
Yeah, I think the Borg is a little busy.
But yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene. All I can say is I just hope karma does exist and all of these fuckers get their comeuppance in the end. It'll be fucking biblical.
I hope they all eat each other alive.
Well, we all know Trump's going to be indicted once his presidency's over for what he's going to do in the next fucking 4 years. I'm pretty sure RFK Jr., Hexeth, and all them people, if they last in their jobs, they will definitely be indicted because they're just going to. And that fucker who's going to be in charge of immigration, fucking bullying, fucking ratbag cunt, just looks like he just looks like a fucking mad fucking racist. But I'm pretty sure all these are all going to be indicted at some point because they're all cunts.
Okay, so we're gonna
get a bit of secular fucking punishment.
Yo, have you guys seen this clip of Joe?
Okay, so now we're gonna watch Joe Rogan poning Ben Shapiro because Ben Shapiro is I fucking hate this douche nozzle so
Ben
goddamn
Shapiro
much.
is an annoying fuckwit.
Yes.
Joe
So
is
here we
not a
go.
good
Let's
person,
listen
but
to this.
sometimes he does fuck with people that need to be fucked with.
Every once in a while he pushes back, and luckily this is one of the times that he pushes back, and it's great that he
Have a
pushes
nice
back
meal.
because it's goddamn motherfucking Ben Shapiro twat. Because remember, Ben Shapiro said that his wife is a medical physician, and if her pussy was ever wet, it would be a medical condition because her pussy should never be wet. That's what he said. He literally said that.
Rogan just rolling through Ben.
So here we go, and let's just get to where he starts talking. And everybody, please show Adam Mockler some love. We've gone over, used his content a bunch, but let's get into where he's actually talking, which is Joe Rogan poning Ben Shapiro. I thought this was recent. He looks really, really young here. Huh. Oh, anyways. No, he's not young anymore. But anyways, let's crack on. Let's see
Well,
where
he
says-
needs him to have plastic surgery.
Oh, you talk about Joe Rogan?
I don't know. No. Ben Shapiro twat looks
Shapiro.
young. Ben Shapiro twat looks hella young.
Oh,
Right?
he wears a lot of makeup, doesn't he?
So now let's get into where it looks like we're getting into the talking.
Clip is from 2020.
Oh, it is from 2020. So, but it's still Joe Rogan poning Ben Shapiro twat, and we'll just get into a little bit of it then, because I thought this was recent, but I don't know why Adam Muckler's in it.
Shapiro
Fuck it.
has his whole argument dismantled by
today in 2020. There clearly is some impact in the echoes of slavery, and then after that, Jim Crow. There's clearly some impact in these deep.
I mean, if that wasn't happening, then you wouldn't be you, right? I mean, obviously, duh. I'm surprised you don't have your daughter in the kitchen doing the dishes with her as well. Anyways, the color.
You know, if you really want to get her in the sack, you'll actually do the dishes, and she'll be.
No, because she has to do that, like according to the Bible. She will have to submit to whenever he wants. So.
Wait.
I will have to write a song back to back.
You cut out a little bit, but anyways, wait. There were dishwashers, like the machines back in the biblical times. Yeah, there's totally was reference in the Bible. Anyways, I know what we're talking about, and I'm just being stupid. But here we go.
Impoverished communities that don't seem to advance.
Yes. So to make the argument about institutional racism, there's
to make the argument about, oh my God, his fucking voice is so high, and I love how he's like, I am the representation of men. It's like, no, you're the representation of a bitch.
a couple ways you can read this. When people say systemic racism or institutional racism, I usually ask them to be a little more specific in what they mean, because there are a few.
Okay, I can do that really quickly. Institutional racism doesn't exactly mean that there are laws on the books, right?
Okay, so I'm I thank you, Adam, for letting us use this. If that comes up for you seeing this, you're never gonna even know my channel exists. But yes, on the books right now, is there ways that are causing people to not I still believe there are. I still think there are sundown towns, and I still do think there are redlining, and then we're obviously gerrymandering places, making it so people need to get an ID. And I still think there's very, very systemic racism things on the books. It's just very, very nuanced now. It's very, very undercoded, but it's still
hidden.
happening. And it's hidden. Even though what we're going to talk about is the last 60 years, technically those things went away in 1964. But let's crack on. I'm going to get back into douche nozzle talking. Because yes, Adam, you're all your points are always on, but I'm here. Thank you for clipping this out because that's what I needed.
Two ways you can read that. One is history has impact. Of course, that's true, right? That's true for everybody. It's true in your family history. But if you have a grandfather who went to prison on a particular charge, that leads to poverty for your parents, which led to more poverty for you, right? People have histories. Those histories are embedded in their life experiences, and that's true for societies as well. All of that is for sure true.
Yes, if you were able to come here, and if you were able to come here, go to a place, open a bank, start a farm, be gifted lots of land, a handful of other things that were not given to other people and were taken away from other people. And then you had another culture of people that were forced from their native lands to another place and then put into indentured work, forced work for generations. Then you said, oh, well, technically now you are equal, but we're not going to give you a way to make equity. So then you are technically not equal. And also, you're walking down the street and a white boy is smoking a joint next to a black boy smoking a joint, and a cop rolls up. Guess who's going to get life in prison in Tennessee in 1960s?
Dude,
Definitely
have
not
you
the
been
white.
watching Little House on the Prairie?
Well, I mean, Michael Landon is who I was named after. I mean, kind of. But anyways, we'll talk about that later. But no, I mean, that's what we're talking about, and that's what we're going to get into in just a second, is that kind of segregation. That's why I wanted us to watch this, is because I felt like this was very pertinent, because we're getting back into fascists and racists becoming very, very comfortable in their skin right now. And I think that's why Adam Mockler did this. And I felt like this was important. Well, that's not all skinheads are bad.
No, I know.
I've got a skinhead, only because I'm a bald cunt.
Yeah. So anyways, let's crack on. And whatever you say, Pastor, I don't know what that means, and I don't care. I am getting a little tipsy at this point and fucking stoned as shit, because I just got, what did I buy? It's called NYC Diesel, and it is the total THC in this 1,000 milligram cartridge is 762 THCs. I don't know what that means. It's milligrams, obviously. But anyways, it is
micrograms.
Yeah, I know. No, yeah. I'm just being silly. But yeah, no, I'm getting pretty stoned. But let's listen to this cunt whistle say this twat stuff, and then actually Joe Rogan is actually like, okay, when Joe Rogan started his podcast, I used to watch him on Fear Factor, obviously. That's what the first TV show that he was on. Then he was an MMA fighter and back in the day, and I kind of knew who he was back then a little bit, not really. Then he went on to be on fucking that goddamn TV show. Then after that, then he was doing more MMA commentating. Then he became a podcaster, and I watched him for a year or two or a couple years, and he was very, very like on the fence, and he seemed to be like okay with other things, and now he's become very, very
he's an influencer now.
Rich man. That's the problem with it. He's very, very rich man. That's the problem. He's not grounded with the average person, just like Bill Maher. Bill Maher is like, I'm the best, and I know, and I'm a centrist, and no, you're a fucking rich dude, and you have no idea what it's like to be an average person. But let's crack on.
Then there's the question as to whether the institutions today are racist. And that's not quite the same thing, right? Because history has consequences is not the same thing as saying the rules today are racist.
The rules,
they technically
the rules
still
are still racist.
There
Yeah.
technically still are. So now let's get into him.
Historically, it's fairly recent. If you go from the civil rights movement to 2020,
We're talking about 60 years, and he's going to say that. And we're talking about 200 years before that. So when you're talking about 200 years to 50 years, the catch up is really, really long. And we're actually going to go watch something of that he goes over about a monopoly hypothetical scenario. And we're going to go over that in just a second.
we're really not talking about that much time.
We're
We're
talking about
talking
3
about
generations, but
50 plus years.
60 years.
60 years is not 3 generations. That's not 3 generations, right? A generation's not fucking. It's 60 years is a generation, right?
Yeah, it's one generation, I'd say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's one generation technically. There are people that are.
In my
Hold
family,
on, hold on.
Literally.
Yeah, but a
There are-
60-year-old can be a
it's like
grandfather, right? Or a grandmother.
There are people. There are
It's like
people
2.
alive right now that went through all of the like having a white bathroom and a Negro bathroom, and I'm only saying that because I'm just like referencing like the way that you would have, you know what I'm saying? So there are people that are alive right now, and I've actually seen things that are like that in weird places that are in the backwoods of nowhere, but where it was actually prevalent. People who saw the change are still alive right now, bro. Almost Joe Rogan's almost that old. I'm almost that old. I'm 43. I'm almost, like 10 more years than I could. Like, my father saw that change. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one generation, literally.
Yeah,
Like,
segregation
literally.
ended in early 64, I believe. Segregation ended. So it's barely 60 years.
Man, Pastor, you're a fun little troll. I love how silly you are. You're fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
50 plus.
Right,
In the world of,
in the vast span of human history, it's not
very small amount.
But comparatively to when you started having the slaves come over here to when they've been not slaves, and then what you've done with redlining, gerrymandering, and a handful of other things, totally making marijuana illegal was to make it so that the brown man, the Mexicans, couldn't fuck the white women anymore. The white men were scared that jazz was gonna get all the Mexicans that were gonna bring all the weed up here to give to the white women, while the black dudes were playing the instruments to fuck their white women in the jazz clubs. What are you talking about? Like, that was conspiracy. They literally said the blacks are going to play the music in the jazz clubs, and the Mexicans are going to bring in the weed, and they're going to fuck our white women by getting them to dance to the goddamn blacks music. What is going on? Like, huh? That is like some crazy shit. But we're obviously talking about like the QAnon people that where they believe in like Major Green Twat just said what on Twitter or whatever. Why don't they use the cloud seeding and the wind machines or the rain machines to fucking put out the fires in California? If they had that technology, they would have done it, you dumb cunt. Do you really think that America really wanted? Do you really think the government, do you really think the rich and the famous wanted all of their houses burned down? Do you really think they wanted Sunset Strip burned down? Do you really think they wanted any of that to happen? You're a dumb cunt to think, any of you that out there that think that America, the government, the powers that be wanted all of that to happen, you're a fucking idiot. That's where all of the rich and all of the money and all of the things and all this stuff. Why would you want that? It would have been that's the stupidest thing in the world.
Can I point out one thing? Like,
just point
I
it.
think like if it was a neighborhood and like everybody knew they were all Republicans, the Democrats would still help. If it was the other way around, the Republicans would just laugh.
Well, what do you think is happening right now with the Democratic blah? They're going, well, the only way that we're going to let you have money to rebuild is if you become more fucking Republican. They want to open up the waterways. They want to do this. They want to do that to give fucking relief. And it's like, that's not how relief works, you know, cunt. When the Floridas and all the red states needed hurricane relief, what did Obama and Biden both do?
Well, it's not about the party or politics. It's about the people.
No, it is. No, it is. No, it is. No, it is. Because guess who are the ones that gave up the rubber stamp immediately and just gave up the money? The Democrats here. The Republicans are like, you know what? I don't know if we should give enough money to the, you know, like, are you ketamine me? They need money. And you're going to like pretend that like, oh, we're going to make this a debate and we're going to like hashtag and we're going to like, you know, let's not spend that much money on, like, shut the fuck up, you dumb cunts. That's exactly partially why we're at this point, because the Republicans here cut off funds for certain supplies. California was supposed to get $1 million more in fire relief funding that the Republicans took away because they said, you don't need $900,000 more for your budget. They took $900,000 away from their budget. And I know that's nothing, but Hassan did a great thing doing this. And I watched a handful of other content creators, and they showed that there is a goddamn ghost yard of emergency vehicles that are sitting there that they don't have technicians to fix. They don't have a way to upgrade them. They don't have anything to do. So now they're just sitting there and they're turning into skeletons. So they have $1.5 gazillion worth of emergency equipment that just sits there and rots away because they don't have enough technicians. They don't have enough people to run them. They don't have enough things because their budget keeps getting cut, and they're sending more to the military or more to the police or more to your mom's vagina because, you know, it has to be wet for all those senators to fuck it. I'm sorry. I'll stop. I'm on a rant now, but let's crack on. Yeah, Pastor, I'm talking about you. All right, let's crack on.
Amount of time.
Right.
So clearly there's some impact of both racism and then Jim Crow laws. So that's where I'm saying there's a middle ground.
Yeah, and it is important for people on my side of the aisle, conservatives, to acknowledge and recognize the importance of history and.
But if they weren't born with a house already and equity, then that is their fault because for 50 years their grandparents could have been pulling themselves up by the bootstraps. Okay, let's crack on.
People's living situations now. And it's important for people on the other side of the aisle to, at the same time, not attribute every single thing to history because
But like, if you have a food desert that you live in, if you live in a ghetto, if you live in a place that is very, very impoverished, where you're living in very, very unhealthy conditions, comparatively to where Ben Shapiro grew up in a privileged household and had a silver spoon in his butthole as an enema his whole entire life. He's like, well, how are you not born in a mansion and had servants and had people changing your diapers till you were 7 years old? And that's not how the world works. That's not how any of the world works, you dumb cunt. How do you not know people live in a household? Like, do you think people choose to be born in the ghetto with a mom who has 12 kids? Do you think that's what people choose? Do you think that's healthy? Do you think that you can grow up normally living in that situation? And it's not because, again, they're the problem. It is because the social system, the social structure, they were never given, like, as soon as what happens is with like the pot being illegal and with certain drugs being illegal, the male of the household goes to jail, and now you have a single mother system. And because Christianity Catholicism and other organizations of religion tell you to procreate your arse off because it happens in not just in different types of low income situations. Let's put it that way, because I'm not just talking about one certain situation. Even trailer park systems. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, like double wide trailers, trailer parks. These people still have 20 kids. You know what I'm saying? It's everybody. Now it's who gets to get that wealth, get the food stamps and or whatever, right? If you're fucking white people in a trailer park and you sign up for SNAP, you're gonna get it. If you're not and you sign up for some of these things, you're maybe they're gonna limit it, or they're gonna be like, you have to prove to us that you're working this much. So again, that becomes unfair. And then like the subsidies that you can get, that can become unfair as well, because you have a social worker coming around a lot more. Or again, blue states fund all the red states. Let's put it that way. And what I'm talking about is all the taxes that come into the blue states, because they're large cities, they go to the red states to pay for their poverty, which is most of the time trailer park trash. It's actually not brown or black people that in the red states, the blue states tax revenue goes to. It's usually trailer park trash that has 5-6 kids with their brother, uncle, cousin. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, brother, uncle, cousin, she, or sister, aunt, grandma, mother. You know what I'm saying? Like we've talked about, you know. But anyways, let's crack on.
Isn't there always something like that? There's always like extremes on each position, and the truth lies somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, but I don't think that it lies as far in the dead center of that as people, I think, want it to.
But why does it need to? That's not how this works. Again, that's not how any of this works. It doesn't need to be center. If there is an imbalance in this, there is a problem in the social structure system that we live in, and it should not be this off balance. And I understand being a white fucking man saying this may be kind of weird, but I have seen this firsthand, and I realize how privileged I am. I understand, like, I should not be where I'm at. I really sometimes do wish that I could figure out other things. I'm hoping that maybe we can do like some more charity things in the near future, but we'll see. Or I can work for more charities doing charitable stuff. But anyways, let's crack on with this cunt. And then I want to share a video that they're talking about how Monopoly shows systemic racism in the Americas.
Too.
Man, seeing Joe Rogan just from 4 years ago saying that.
But now he doesn't say this shit. So again, 4 years ago, I was on board with Joe Rogan because he said stuff that was anti-establishment and stuff. But now he is very, very rich.
Now he is the establishment.
The bootstraps. He's saying that you.
So now you have to, yeah. Anyways. So I want to get into the next thingamabobber that Adam Mockler has done. Is it not going to do this?
Other side of the aisle too. At the same time,
let me, because it's really not. Okay, let me see if I can just get to his channel by here, and there we go. So he did this thing earlier today, and I feel like this is a great way to end the stream, which is, excuse me, pardon me, Jesus Christ. Give me a second. No. Maybe the Monopoly thing is a short.
I don't know. You can search on a channel.
Okay, let's go to here.
Maybe it's called different.
Maybe it's this one. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, and it's
No,
this
no,
one.
no, no,
I'm
no.
dumb.
I
This
don't
is systemic
understand, or I
racism.
don't know the definition of systematic racism. So I'm gonna ask
No,
you
no,
to
no,
define
no,
it for
no.
me. What is systematic racism?
Okay, so
You
here
got
we
no,
go.
no,
This
no,
is
no,
the
in the
beginning
side
of
chat.
it. Okay,
No,
yeah,
no, no,
okay,
no,
okay,
no.
give me a second. Okay, so here is the beginning of this, and this is where we get into the monopoly theory from this very, very spectacular lady content creator that I'm gonna have everybody go to, but where you can't, we're gonna read what she's saying, or we're gonna let him read it. But anyways, so this is two black gentlemen on a podcast, and one of the gentlemen says this. I can't believe, like, I don't, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna let it play. 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 Okay, all
I
right,
don't
here we go.
understand, or I don't know the definition of systematic racism. So I'm
Thought you were gonna let it play.
This black dude says he does not understand systematic racism.
No, not he doesn't
Here we
know
go.
the definition.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna ask you to define it for me. What is systematic racism?
Systemic racism is when you have practices, policies, and legislation that are structured in a way that disproportionately impacts Black people. Do you want me to give you some examples of policy or legislation?
Great answer.
That was a good answer.
No, it's a great. No, this gentleman is fucking amazing. That's why we're playing this, because he's fucking awesome as well. But the other person that comes up later is great with her answers. But let's track on with this.
All right, I want to show you guys this clip because this Trump.
Okay. Now let's get back to him talking. And thank you, Adam Mockler. But I just want to play what is going on in here. Okay, so now we get to this lady, but it's copyright claimed.
Activist Kimberly Jones.
It's copyright claimed for some reason. I don't know why. So we're gonna read. I'm gonna let him read it. Fuck it. I'm gonna let him read it.
This has a really brilliant analogy about how wealth disparity in America is kind of like a monopoly.
Thank you, Adam, for letting us use this.
Monopoly game where white Americans have been able to play since day one. They've been able to play for 200, 300 rounds to move around the board, buy property, build houses, amass wealth.
Okay, I'm gonna let her. Okay, hold on.
I think that's a decent workaround. It's not ideal, but she's
I think this is where he starts reading it.
Says, this is what we must never forget, that economics was the reason that Black people were brought to this country. We came to do the agricultural work in the South and the textile work in the North. Do you understand that that's why, what we came to do? We came to do the agricultural work in the South and the textile work in the North. She then says, now, right now, if I decided that I wanted to play Monopoly with you, and for 400 rounds of playing,
I'm gonna break this up, obviously, because it's part of fair use. So she's saying if you played 400 rounds of Monopoly, and what? And this is, I love, and that's why we're playing this, is because this is a great motherfucking example of how systemic racism in the Americas was propagated and how it was run. I don't know a better way to actually show this. There's probably better ways. But here we blow. And thank you, Adam, for doing this and putting this together for us.
Monopoly, I didn't allow you to have any money. I didn't allow you to have anything on the board. I didn't allow for you to do anything while we played one another. And then we played another 50 rounds of Monopoly, and everything that you gained and earned while you were playing that round of Monopoly was taken from you. That was Tulsa, the race massacre. That was Rosewood. There are pipes. There are
So, say we're playing Monopoly, and one person or multiple people got to play the game for 200 rounds, right? Then they let you play, but before you got, or once you got done with 50 rounds, they burned all of your equity to the ground. Now you're starting over again. So now we're talking about 250 rounds of Monopoly that you have no equity in. And everybody else has equity, which is hotels.
No. And the second part, they don't just destroy your thing. No, they take
They take your money and they take
it moves it to another player.
Yeah, they take your money. Thank you, Brandon, for saying that, because
It's actually worse.
Yeah, and so they actually take your money from you for working for them. So now you are in the hole technically in multiple different ways. So now let's crack on to listening to her explain this more.
Places where we built Black economic wealth, where we were self-sufficient, where we owned our stores, where we owned our property, and they burn it to the ground.
So if you don't know, I think it was Tulsa, if I'm remembering properly, and I'm stoned and drunk, but in Tulsa was the Black whatever market, not the black market, but the what's it called, traders market or whatever, what's in New York, stock market. The Black stock market was in Tulsa, and they were running their own version of it because they couldn't do it in New York because they would not let them ticket with all of the other stock brokers. There you go. Thank you. Stockbrokers. So they did that. And then what did they do? They went into this fucking place and they burned it to the goddamn ground. So they literally took all their assets away again.
That's 450 years.
So now we're talking about 450 years. I was way under. I said 250. It's 450 years now. So 450 rounds of the game. Let's just joke as a round is a year, which is kind of like what they're kind of saying. So now 450 rounds of a Monopoly game. And we know Monopoly takes a gazillion and a half years. So fucking play anyways. Now you just start the game after your opponents have been around this game 450 times, technically, I guess is the way to put it. I don't know. It doesn't matter, but right, right. So think of it as this board game that you're never making points, and when you do make points, it goes straight to another fucking character. It's like you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, you're playing GTA, you're playing Red Dead Redemption, you're playing fucking COD, you're playing any game, and every time you score, everything you do, all the things you pick up, all of the fucking harvesting you do, all of the grinding you do goes straight to another player. You're fucked no matter what. And you're not even fighting. You're not even rolling dice. There's no not getting out of this. You know what I'm saying? You're literally just like, if you smoke a fucking joint in your house being a black man in Mississippi in any time, even probably now, and a cop just like knocks on the door, busts in and goes, you go to jail for 30 years. What are we talking about? That doesn't make any sense. This is the dumbest thing in the world. There's totally systemic racism, and it's set up for this to be a fucking rigged system. Hey, Reader Payne. I mean, literally, dude. Like, when I would, as a teenager, me and my friends, we would go to the beach, Pacific Beach. We would get a homeless dude to buy us a bunch of 40s for like pocket chains. We would go and take like $10 down, and we would buy some weed. We'd go find the punk kids that had they usually rolled their own cigarettes, right? So then you would trade some weed for some tobacco, and we would all roll. A shot was when we added mushrooms to it, but we would make spliffs, right? And then we would smoke those while we were drinking 40s of fucking malt liquor behind the record store in Pacific Beach on the beach. And the cops would come up to us every once in a while, and they're like, can we pretend that like we don't see you doing this illegal stuff? Do you know how privileged that motherfucking is? Like, if we were in Nashville, if we were in any other fucking place, we would go to jail for like a stupid amount of. Well, I guess we're white. I guess it would not have been that, but like, dude, like, how many times like cops were just like, I see you guys are drinking and driving and smoking weed in your VW bus. Just pull over here and just get out and walk. Okay. Like, what the hell are we talking about? Like, it's insane. The privilege that we had. And like, and anyways, let's crack on. We'll talk about later the whole like things.
She says 450 years. So for 400 rounds of Monopoly, you don't get to play at all. Not only do you not get to play, this is the crazy part. You have to play on behalf of the person that you're playing against. And you have to play and make money and earn wealth for them. And then you have to turn it over to them. So then for 50 years, you finally get a little bit and you're allowed to play. And every time.
And then this is what happened in Tulsa. And I think that's what she's going to say in just a second.
They don't like the way you're playing or that you're catching up or that you're doing something to be self-sufficient. They
burn your game to the ground.
Burn your game. They burn your cards. They burn your Monopoly money. Again, she's saying that's Tulsa. I mean, the clip is really powerful.
Yes. So Tulsa is when they did that. 50 years ago or something like that, I think is when the black stock exchange was burned to the ground or something like that. Do some research. Look it up yourselves. I'm only here to give you my drunk ass half-witted perspective of most stuff. But then let's let her explain this a little bit more.
I wish I could play it, but you guys get the idea, right? This is a
this is totally a setup for you to lose the game. Okay, I think we all get the rest of that, right? I'm just going to double check really quick to see if, excuse me, pardon me.
They do need a lot of more years to be able to even catch up a little bit. And the problem is, like, the people that got rich off of them have also screwed over the other white people. And now they tell those people that they screwed over, like, oh, no, it wasn't us. It was the black people.
Oh, well, that's Trump's playbook, isn't it? Promise everything, do nothing, blame every other fucker.
Fucker. Exactly. Okay, so let's just go over this really quick. This Republican does not understand his own bill and the
Since
laws,
the election.
and so let's get into this. Come on, there we go. Okay, I want to get to right here. Yes, there we go. And are we at a little bit faster? Okay, I want to go a little bit faster for this.
A lot with, the regulations and the legal system around federal employment. And I really want to emphasize the comments that were made by the ranking member about how unusual this bill is. We just had a letter introduced into the record from the Heritage Foundation that is supporting.
So that is Project 2025's. Yes, that's Project 2025's who wrote that, and they are bringing up this bill. Let's put it that way.
This bill because of misguided efforts to essentially stoke segregation, division, and create a victim oppressor narrative, essentially, is what this.
Against white people, because that's a thing, because that's totally a thing that there's oppression against white people in America.
I get oppressed all the time. Oh no, that's
I mean,
good press. Sorry.
I mean, I get pushed up on all the time being a white man in public sometimes, but that's completely different, and we'll talk about that later. But no. Do I feel like as a white man that they're like people are like making me feel guilty for blah blah blah? No. Do I feel guilty and or other things in the past that like things have happened? Yes, but the way that you change that is by working to not be that way in the future. So I go, oh, well, I'm not going to be racist to people. I'm going to accept everybody. I have been that way since I've been like hella young because I grew up in San Diego. Like you can't be racist if you grew up in San Diego. If you are, your life is going to be hating constantly. Like you're going to wake up and go to sleep hating. You're going to dream hating because there are so many others around you.
That's what the racists all do.
Well, I know, but they're not.
hate everything.
But the only problem with them is they're not around others. That's their problem. Like fucking this douche also the other day was like, the goddamn Muslims are trying to bring in Sharia law and I looked at him and I went, who around you is trying to get you to be into Sharia law? Well, no, they said in the Fox News. Yeah, but personally, when have you haven't had a Muslim ever talk to you? Have you ever talked to a Muslim, especially about Sharia law? Well, no.
Most of them are in. Most of them are in other countries to fucking escape it.
Yeah, no, of course. And of course, what he said to me, he goes, Slim, I ain't gonna talk to you anymore. And then his friend who he was with, his coworker, looks at me and goes, yeah, I never thought of that. I'm like, yeah, dumbass. Don't just listen to everything that somebody tells you. If it's not happening around you, it's not happening, you idiot. Okay. So let's crack on with this.
Support says, but what is particularly peculiar about this massive bill that's been introduced, and I want to note that the co-sponsor of this bill, or this primary sponsor of this bill in the Senate, is Mr. J.D. Vance, our vice president-elect.
Oh, so
is it literally?
We know this is already for like a micro penis fucking like Zeke-Kyle fucking totally no. This has nothing to do with fucking evangelical fucking jerking off and not understanding how the separation of church and state is a thing.
Yeah,
as the title says.
And the thing with the Heritage Foundation, it's just like the anti-American rebel flag is heritage.
It's a religious document.
Hey, if I can't talk about how my family had a thing because they've been here for a while, how do I show my? I don't ever get that. I never understood the whole.
How do you not when they show that they were proud in fighting against United States of America? Oh wait,
NANA, calm your tits.
What? Wait, what?
Calm your tits, NANA.
Says is about dismantling diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the federal government. It revokes executive orders. It amends the Civil Rights Act, and it amends other parts.
Amends the Civil Rights Act. Oh my God.
The federal code that protect our federal employees. And then it has this peculiar section that the ranking member talked about, which is actually essentially creating lists of federal employees and contractors that would never be eligible to work for the federal government again. Now, we have a word for that in common parlance. We call it blacklisting.
Yeah. They're like, hey, if they're brown, if they're black, and they ain't American, we're gonna you damn and what?
You're not that far off. What if you're looking at a Western? What color hat does the good guy have? And what color hat does the bad guy have?
Yeah, black hat.
Everything is set up so that people of color, mainly black, are seen as bad or
the bad guy. Yes,
good.
It's always the black sheep. Because the family, it's not the white sheep. It's not.
Like
I know.
The evil creature is always black. The evil person always wears black. good people always wear white. Well, except in stupid Star Wars, but then again, they're good because they can't
Okay.
miss.
So let's listen to her take the piss out of this bill.
Ooh, yeah.
And then we'll go into
that's a nice one.
Well,
a
the
little
Rebel
bit
Alliance
of
in Star Wars were the bad people. They were fighting against oppression, but they were a Rebel Alliance. They were rebels.
No, I'm on the same page with you. I think she's fucking definitely hot for sure. But anyways, crack on.
And blacklisting comes from the 1950s.
It does look.
Yes.
When
Yeah,
here in
okay.
this House of Representatives, there was a committee on un-American affairs that was convened under Joe McCarthy. The purpose of that was to purge the federal government and to accuse federal employees and blacklist them from future federal employment. So
At the time, I think this was more about the Russian and communism and stuff. But anyways, it was still a system that was set up to get rid of people because of their ideology or their not acceptance of the regime that was put in place in the government at the time.
I'd like to say welcome.
Even though it was put into place, like technically, legally, even though, once again, we're talking about gerrymandering, we're talking about the electoral college, we're talking about having an ID, not being able to give people access to places to go and vote. There was not until recently ways to do mail-in ballot voting. So there was a lot of ways that people in the buttfuck middle of nowhere, Mississippi, could not vote. There was no way for them to vote because they did not make it accessible. So that was the major problem. And once again, dog, this is why to this day I still don't vote, because our system is still so rigged. It's a fucking goddamn motherfucking carnival game. That's why
Well,
Trump is in power. That's why.
If you don't vote, there's no chance of them winning.
No, because the electoral college made it so no matter what I did, he won. It doesn't matter. The electoral college made him win. None of our votes matter. Again, if we vote for something, somebody can just jerk them other people off, pay money, get signatures, and turn things
Where
over.
you're at, like, I do get it. But especially in swing states, I think it's not voting is.
It may be different. It's a little bit different, maybe there, but again,
Look
I
at
have
your
seen.
Supreme Court justices. How fucking corrupt is that institution?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
dreadful.
This is a carnival fucking circus game that has been set up that our
we gotta
government motherfucking
look
is.
something
And
up.
literally, we are running a goddamn motherfucking carnival as our fucking government. And that's what's going on right now. They talk about kangaroo courts in other places. And this is goddamn a fucking kangaroo, rhinoceros, freaking lion hybrid fucking court is what we're at this point. God damn it.
To the new House Committee on Un-American Affairs and to the new McCarthyism, because
the Un-American Affairs, I love her so much. She's great.
we have arrived here today
Will the
with this
gentlelady
bill.
yield?
So let's talk about
Will the
what
gentlelady
exactly
yield?
is trying to be
Dude, she's not gonna let him speak. Yes, go girl. You go girl.
accomplished by this bill.
Because of what you said, I've got to post a song in the side chats. I'll also post it in the Discord. It's actually cool.
Is it playable?
Unrest
Is it
Carnival.
playable? Is it playable? We can play it.
I'm pretty sure it is copyrighted.
Okay, well, we'll not play that.
I don't
then.
know
But anyways,
how bad they are with that, but
we may play it in the end. We'll see. But let's listen to her talk a
I'll
little
drop
bit
it in
more.
the private. I'll
Sure.
also drop it
And
in the
let's go.
private.
And
Let's
by
go.
the upcoming administration, which the vice president-elect is participating in here. Now, okay, let's take the argument to its logical extension that this is really about making sure that we have qualified individuals inside the federal
she's
government.
throwing
So my
her arm
question is
around
then,
the chair.
why is the president-elect choosing absolutely unqualified cabinet secretaries to be at the head of every single agencies? We've got now a worldwide wrestling executive who's going to run education. We've got a sexual predator who was about to have a bipartisan report released by the House of Representatives to be our AG. We've got a Fox News commentator who's going to run the military for us. So if my colleagues across the aisle want to talk about qualifications, they want to talk about efficiency, they want to talk about the federal workforce, then let's talk about it, because you're talking about putting into place leadership.
Okay, I want to keep letting her go for just a little bit more because she's cooking like a motherfucker.
Oh, she's
She's baking. She's
on the
like
roll.
baking like she's baking. Yeah, she's baking like the best baker, making the best cinnamon rolls that anybody's ever made in the fucking world. But
That
just
does make me wonder about her buns. Oh, sorry.
yeah, but I just have to for a second just stop because we do for fair use. But let's let her cook some more, folks, and because she's fucking amazing. And this morning, it was 7 a.m. when I listened to this, and it was really trippy to listen to this in a certain way and then watch his response, which we'll go over in just a second. And I was like, what the fuck? Why the ebb and flow is so weird, and we'll show you why, and you'll understand once we get into the rest of this video.
In these federal agencies who are absolutely unqualified, who are dangerous, and know nothing about the agencies that they're about to be appointed to lead. So this is not about qualifications. This is not.
It's not about DEI. It's not about DIE. It's not about getting lesbians to run the fire department. They can't figure out a way to hire enough people and get enough supplies. So and then Gavin Newsom getting enough water that's going to not protect the smelt fish that isn't even a thing. You fucking loser, Trump. And all the other things, dude. That's not how this works. That's not. If you have 90-mile-an-hour winds, you cannot stop things that are already happening. You fucking idiots.
About having a qualified federal workforce. This is about laying the ground for the purge that they plan on January 20th and in the days afterwards. And we know that because the very organization for whom the chairman just submitted this letter of support is the Heritage Foundation, who wrote Project 2025, which gave.
Yeah, and that's what I just said. And I already knew she was going to say this, and I jumped the gun. I'm sorry. But anyways, here we go.
Us the blueprint for the purge itself and what they are planning inside every single one of these agencies. So we need to be clear-eyed about what this actually is and about what is trying to be a.
This is pretending to be equalizing hiring, even though it's trying to get rid of DEI. So now let's go ahead and listen to this cunt whistle try to backpedal. I don't remember what she says, and so I'm not going to go over this because I want to listen to this douche nozzle go over why he thinks it's okay to fuck over.
You're racist.
Response to my colleagues' query. The amendment is poorly written. It uses past tense and current tense in the same subject matter without indicating a shift in time. You're not just saying in a statement that we acknowledge that racism is a part of human nature and exists as part of the human construct. Of course, the corruption is born of the heart of man.
Oh, so that
we're trying to get that. Yeah, and because it's in the Bible, it's correct. Even though you didn't say that. But no,
murder is inside of me, so I can kill you, and that's okay. Okay, thank you.
So, and the other thing is, we're talking about societal norms now, and that's what we're talking about. You dumb cunt, Higgins, is we already have these presets that we understand that, like, you shouldn't poke somebody in the eye, you shouldn't spit on somebody, you shouldn't fart on somebody's face unless you're in an intimate relationship with them. And I'm just kidding.
But also, racism was part of it. We have evolved. While most of us have evolved.
Okay, so once again, I will say this. I believe I've said it multiple times before, and if not, beep it. I understand we are a small group animal, right? So abnormalities outside of our small little culture makes us very wary. I do understand that, which is a pretense of things, but that doesn't mean that we can't learn to like not be that way.
Yeah, but
And
I
why
think,
should we don't need those pretenses? And yes, there are things like where the little babies aren't scared of snakes, and also not scared of black people that are white babies, you know, obviously. But
well, no, but that's also quite logical, because they just see a human, and like a baby is like, oh, I need somebody to take care of me. Like if its mom dies, like and it's true. Like kids don't see color.
well, and
Like,
well,
not in that way.
hold on. So the next thing that I'm going to say really quick, and maybe it's very controversial, and if I lose fans, I don't care. The first time a child comes in contact with a tattooed face person, a little adult person, and let's say other body types, okay, let's put it that way. They sometimes are shocked, okay, working in the industry that I work in, but it's how the adults react that is the thing that happens next in the child's brain to learning. If the adult, can you if the adult reacts positively to the experience, it goes, no, it's okay, they're freaking awesome, no, come in, look.
Yeah. And like one of the things that I really appreciated, like in my looking back at my youth, when I was in school, like I believe it was in elementary school. Hey, Irish Dublin. That's one of the gifted memberships by stupidity.
Nice. Okay, good.
No, but like we actually spent a day at a school with mentally handicapped kids, mentally and physically handicapped kids.
That explains a lot.
I worked a lot.
Like, and like for me, it was already kind of normal, because the neighborhood that I grew up in has a lot. Well, that's where that school was, but there's also like housing projects where people with disabilities live. So if we went to the store, we saw people with disabilities, all kinds of disabilities, you know. But like I see a lot of people that just have never seen it, and they just freak out. And then the human reaction is to make fun of it.
When I was in the Boy Scouts, I think I was a preteen. I think a couple of kids in our troop were deaf, and there was one boy who was really, really gung ho about doing everything, even though he was deaf. And so I learned American Sign Language, ASL, very, very quickly, because nobody can control him. And I felt like if I could, like, he got hit by a car riding his bicycle 4 times, and I think that's what killed him. I think, I don't remember, like, I think when he was like 14, but I literally followed him around, and I was his interpreter for at least a year or 2, or a year and a half in the Boy Scouts. And because he was just so chaotic, and I was like, dude, this dude needs freaking somebody to like hone him in. And then anyways, so I learned so I got into the chaoticness, and I'm the oldest of 3 younger siblings, so I always felt like I needed to be in charge, and that's why I put on all the raves. That's why I put on all the events. That's why I was the head of all of the things.
You're just a good leader.
Yeah, well, I got taught to be one at a young age. Like, do I really want to be one to some extent? No, but my brain just goes, do these things, put all this stuff, to be the head of this, make sure that, like you take care of everybody, right? Like if I'm at a place and something's going down, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to get hurt first before anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, I'll put myself in harm's way before everybody, because I'm not trying to be the hero. It's because I care about everybody else instead of, I have empathy. And let's crack on with this crackhead.
And not the mechanisms of man. Every one of us would recognize that racism exists throughout human history, in every culture, in every land. The sun never sets, nor has it on some.
So just keep propagating it so that it never sets. Yeah, you're an asshole, you fucking twat whistle.
On some manifestation of racism throughout the history of man. Yes, there you go. Statement and oversight committee, part of the historical record now. But your amendment, the good lady has introduced an amendment which I oppose because it's very poorly written and it's quite condemning.
It's not very poorly written. You want to know why? We'll get into that right now.
Systemic racism, and I'll give you one good example.
I am going to slow this down, and we're going to go over this in just like for a minute, and then we're pretty much out of here. Because it's been a long week for me. I'm getting stuff ready for the shows. And then Tuesday, I will be in Denver. And the next couple weekends, I will be starting all my shows and stuff. So I will be around a lot less doing some of these streams because I will be on the road a lot more. I am going to try my best to stream on the road. And maybe more of the streams are going to be based on us being on the road and going to places and showing you America and stuff. I'm hoping that's what we're going to try to do in the near future. So instead of being so political, I'm going to take you on the road with us to go to Utah or to go to Montana or to go to Coney Island and go meet all the freaks there and stuff. And so I'm hoping this next year we're going to be doing a lot more seminars, traveling, meeting people, doing interviews with other people and things like that. Like we'll still watch things and stuff, and like if we interview somebody, it's obviously going to be the same setup, just like we did with when we had our cat and Psychotic on. But it will be remote stuff. But this next year hope to be more on the road. I will be on the road because it's pretty much planned us being around so far. So we'll talk about that as soon as we get to it. But let's let our amazing Mr. Raskin tell us how much of a douche nozzle this twat whistle was, what he said to us.
Example, Mr. Higgins, I think
it doesn't say has implemented policies that have perpetuated systemic racism, nor does it say has implemented policies that have perpetuated.
So nowadays, there are not systemic racism laws on the books. But once again, when you have 200 years of you not being able to play on the board and giving 50 years to even maybe get on the board, that is still systemic racism that's happening. And if you were raised in the ghetto and or in low income housing, getting out of that is not that easy. There are a lot of people that have gotten out of it. Obviously, there's people here on this floor that are not white men, but it is very difficult, even 60 years after laws have changed, for it to change. Obviously, that doesn't make any sense. Like
Perpetuated racism. It identifies systemic racism.
Can I give you
past tense versus current?
No, please give us examples, because this douche nozzle is so fucking ignorant that he doesn't understand this.
I'm happy to have inaudibly yielded to you on that point. But let me just reclaim my time for 1 sec, because I want to suggest a really excellent book for people.
And if you've not read this book, please, everybody, go out and read this book. I have not read it.
What's reading?
I have not read it, but I have read the Cliff Notes, and I understand the concepts because in philosophy, I have gone over the concepts of this book.
People who are interested in just this question of how the federal government itself has implemented policies that indeed perpetuate, in the present tense, systemic racism.
In the present tense, and it is called The Color of Law.
The book is called The Color of Law, a forgotten history.
Let
him
say
fucking
it
read
again.
it, man. Let him talk.
Systemic racism. The book is called The Color of Law, a forgotten history of how our government segregated America.
And that is very, very important. If you are watching this right now and you feel like the American government and America has no racism in it, and there was not redlining, there is not segregation, there is not fountains that said black only and white only, if you don't understand the whole concept of like what it was like to put people in poorer and poorer conditions, like the ghettos, then you need to read this book.
And it's about federal housing policy.
Yes.
And the FHA.
Yeah.
And veterans.
That's why I said the ghettos and low and never mind.
Policy, all of which
and redlining meant that they couldn't get loans for houses, or they couldn't get mortgages for houses. I'm sorry, that's what I meant. Loans, mortgages, whatever, because they were at risk because they were fucking black. So now they have to live in low-income housing, or they have to live in apartments. Now they have a thing now, and then generationally, now their kids don't have property, so that they can now use that to get a loan to start a business. If you have farm property, if your family has a farm property, a 200-acre farm, you can get a loan for anything, dude. What are you talking about? You can start a business, any kind of business. You can start a grocery store. And then all you need to do is you need to go to the city council. And then the other thing about this is, so the Illuminati is like not a thing, but like small cultural organizations like churches, I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but small little, like, not cults per se, but they're like stonemasons, the Masons and a couple other things. Like, it's not global like everybody thinks. But like in Loveland, if you're not a part of the Masons and going to the certain church and you're not part of the city council, you're not going to get approval to build a new thing, right? And so it's the in crowd. It's the rich. You have to go to church. You have to like not do infidelity in public, or you have to not like make yourself like a saint in society in the local thing. And then you can like, you have, what you do is you pump enough money into a certain charity that helps rich white kids get Christmas presents because they're in
richer.
they're in the trailer park. So let's let the rich white kid let's let the trailer park white kids get free presents and not the black and brown kids. And anyways, let's crack on. I can sit here for fucking another hour just sputtering out this, and I know my European friends, I feel like they need to get to sleep, so let's just get on a little bit more with this and then we'll be done for tonight.
Deliberately segregated America and deliberately gave certain kinds of benefits to whites that were not available to blacks, and then deliberately and consciously redlined areas. And I read it, I think about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. So forgive me for not being able to detail more precisely what it's talking about. But the author, Richard Rothstein, explains how federal housing policies in the 1940s and 50s explicitly mandated segregation and destroyed the capacity of African American families.
Okay, so we're gonna just stop there. So we're talking about the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, and then in 1964 is when the blah law went. Well, let me just let him say it. Okay, because I don't remember what the law is exactly, Timliana, but I know he is going to say it in just a second.
To be in integrated neighborhoods and of white families to be in integrated neighborhoods. That was a deliberate policy. So, I mean, it would be nice to believe that when the 13th Amendment was adopted and slavery was abolished in the 14th Amendment,
then it would have solved that problem, but it didn't. But so let's let him tell the rest of the story until 1964.
it was passed that everything was okay. There was an effort in the Reconstruction, and again with the radical Republicans' efforts to transfer resources to the recently freed population to lift people up who had been downtrodden by law for centuries. But then Reconstruction was undone, and we got into Jim Crow and poll taxes, literacy tests, grandfather clauses, and the whole system of inequality in the law, which lasted at least up until the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of
So the Voting Rights of 1964 and the Inequality Act of that year. Okay, so there we go. I got to the end of where I wanted to get us to. So let's stop here. And I don't know if oh my God, I almost said I don't know if Pimp is going to be doing a stream tomorrow. Pip. If Pip, yes, our pimp, our black hole pimp is gonna be. I don't know if our black hole pimp is gonna be. I'm just kidding. So, if not, we'll see.
I'm not sure. I've not heard from her, but
yeah, I haven't either.
I believe
we'll see tomorrow.
Last week she said she probably would. So.
Okay, so we'll see, and I'll see if she doesn't. We'll see if I do. I'm not sure. Sorry about last Friday, but like, a bunch of my friends showed up to the bar and I couldn't keep paying attention. So anyways, thank you very much. I'm glad that you thought it was an awesome stream. I had a lot of fun going over this. We have a lot more of this to go over in the next couple of days because I feel like this is gonna like be a thing for like a week more because I don't know how many cabinet positions there are, but I didn't realize how many other things, and I have like a couple other people to kind of go over, but I'm not sure. You don't want me to hit you? Never mind. We'll talk about it later. So I will let everybody know when I go on tour and what states we're going through and when we're doing things. And I would like to meet up with anybody that we can come close in contact with. And I'm looking into getting my passport as well. So eventually I will get to the Europes, but it's working. If I can get
that's probably when I'm gonna try some cannabis. Well, maybe in March, but
okay. Executively, because pump acting like a hooker executively, not pimp, but pump. Anyways, all right, so let's crack on. We'll see you all Monday for show for next same freak time, same freak channel.
Or on the DSA, or on Dave's Saturday Night at the Atheist.
Is Danish said she's doing something on Saturday, I think on the 18th.
And Danish streams again.
So yeah, and so she is now a part of the stream Pervs, if you don't know that. So she's connected with us. So most likely we will be on there with her. We'll see how it goes and when and who's on when and stuff and things and what I'm doing, because this weekend is the last weekend that I probably am not doing anything for the next couple of months. We'll see. I don't know, because I have a lot of things that are getting booked up, and Kat is just booking things up for me, and I need to talk to. Yeah, and I'll hopefully be able to stream some things and show you all stuff and things when we go on these tours, because I want to look at roadside attractions, mom and pop shops, restaurants, and other things that are oddities and weird things along the way that aren't very well known, that like most people know about, that like the traveler things they put on their channels and stuff. So we're hopefully going to do some of that, and then like show the snake charming sexy lady doing things. I'm going to just try to shoot Cat doing a bunch of snake charming stuff as much as I can. So thank you all very much for being here. You all rock. You're amazing. Please make sure that you definitely are subscribed. Obviously you are, and hit the bell notifications. And if you could comment once we get done with this and get other people to watch this, or if you don't mind, go ahead and open up the channel and just like make, not a playlist, but just, you know, you can put it on mute and just watch all the videos, or you can actually, if you've not seen all my videos, like not the streams, but the actual videos on my channel, go fucking do that, please. I need way more views and other things to help with the algorithms, because they're totally beeping me for sure. Since Trump got into, since they said he won the goddamn fucking election. So here we blow. We're gonna get the fuck out of here. Thank you very much, and we're gonna get the fuck out of here. So bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.